Greetings, friends. I'm AK,
And I'm Laura,
and we are the
the
Chainsaw
Chainsaw
Girls.
Girls. On today's episode, we're keeping our what is it? What are we calling it? The January of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're staying on trend, on point. What am I trying to
hmm
say? Is that
Both on
it?
trend and on point.
Okay, I love that. We're covering 2004's Shaun of the Dead.
Hell yes, we got a comedy in here. Okay, we've covered such a vast array of zombie movies this loop. This is the last one for January, and we
Yep.
had to bring in a comedy. We had to bring in the iconic Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, it's such a good movie. I love it. I saw it. I didn't see it when it first came out. I saw it a few years later, and I think it's hilarious. Like it's so funny.
Yeah, I think I saw it pretty close to when it came out as well. It is funny because I've been watching a lot of mid 2000s movies lately, like rewatching them, and there was something specific about the humor at that time that it has changed a lot. I still think it's funny, but there's something
Yeah.
very particular about that era, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was very mean-spirited, the comedy back then. I feel like it was very mean-spirited.
Like that was the time when everyone was just openly calling everything gay in movies and just
Yes.
casually throwing around like the F slur and other fucked up things that are definitely not socially acceptable. So watching them back, some of them, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I was just recently, I tried to watch back Waiting. Have you ever seen the movie Waiting about the
I
restaurant?
fucking love the movie Waiting.
Have
It's
you watched it in a long
honestly,
time?
yes, I have. I watched it last
Okay.
year. I know, it's terrible, but it's also like if you've ever worked in a restaurant,
Yes, it's very relatable. And I remember
very
loving
relatable.
it when it came out in like 2005. Rewatching it in the past year, I went, oh, I don't remember any of this shit.
It's
Okay.
it's
Oh,
pretty
Ryan
like
Reynolds' character is a predator. Oh, I don't remember that shit. Yeah.
he's a full predator. Like just my
Yeah.
my favorite is the girl. The I can't remember her name, but she's like a waitress. She's been there for a long time and she's super sweet to like
And
all
she
the
just
customers'
swears.
faces. She's the best. I love
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
Yes. That was probably me when I worked at KFC as a kid. Anyway.
Shall I read IMDb?
Yes.
The uneventful, aimless lives of a London electronics salesman and his layabout roommate are disrupted by the zombie apocalypse.
Correct.
Yes, that is pretty much what happened. This movie had a budget of, now I've seen it, I've seen 4 million and I've also seen 6 million.
Okay.
So we're just going to say 4 to 6 million. But it did gross worldwide 38.7 million.
I believe it.
And yes, it made a lot more than they were ever expecting. I should say who these people are. It was directed and co-written by Edgar Wright, and it was co-written by Simon Pegg. Simon
Mhm.
plays Sean, and they originally were like, okay, we're just gonna make this movie and we're gonna distribute it in the UK and whatever. But in the back of their minds, they were like, there is a chance this could land in the US. Like a US audience could potentially see this, which is why they don't use as much British slang in this,
Oh.
which I'll
Okay.
point out kind of as we go. But so they were just kind of like, this is just going to be like a UK movie, whatever. They had no idea that it was going to be as successful that it is. You know, it like
Yeah.
completely blew up, and this was like their labor of love. It was their project, and just it's so cool that the movie was so successful.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. They sure don't use a lot of British slang, but the British humor, however, the dry, quick wit is aplenty throughout this entire movie.
So good too. Like I love British humor, so like I'm so into it. It was so good. I also wanted to say Edgar Wright directed and wrote Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Do you like that movie?
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time, but yeah, I did like that movie.
And it's in Toronto. Like that's obviously why I love it so
Oh,
much. But
of course.
yeah, it's in Toronto. But he also wrote Baby Driver, Last Night in Soho, Ant-Man, The Running Man. Like he's a huge director
Yeah,
writer. So
yeah.
obviously very successful.
I also want to mention that at the time of this recording, I can't find Shaun of the Dead streaming for free anywhere or like on any of the main streaming platforms. But this is another one that I would love to get the physical media for, just to have
I
on deck,
have
you
it.
know? You do
Yeah,
have
I
it?
have it. I do
Of
have it.
course you
Yeah.
do.
I didn't know I had it. I didn't know. I started looking through
Well,
my
it's not
shit
a
and I went,
bad
oh,
thing.
yeah, of course you have it.
Of course.
I also want to say too, Simon Pegg, who plays Sean, This is just like a small tidbit, but he voiced Ben Finn in one of my favorite fucking video games of all time, Fable 3.
Oh shit, that's so random.
Dude, I love Fable 2. It's amazing, except for what happens to the dog. I love Fable 2, but Fable 3 got me through some tough times, man.
I'm
I
not
love
gonna
that
lie,
game.
I don't know what that is, but I want to know because you feel passionate about it.
Open world. I love open world games. They're my
Okay, where you just
favorite.
like run around and explore?
Yeah, like in the Zelda game, you can befriend all the dogs. So
Okay, I
that was
do love
cool.
Zelda, and I was gonna say, is it open world? Like, is Toe Jam and Earl for Sega an open world game? Do you remember that one?
I know what Toe Jam and Earl is, but this is not like Toe Jam and Earl.
Okay, that was my first thought when I thought of open world, and I think it might be the second Toe Jam and Earl. I don't remember, but there was just one where you had to go around the map, like from an overview shot. Is that open world? No.
Oh my god, I can't breathe. Hold on. Oh my god, it's so funny.
This is
Okay.
my game knowledge. Okay.
I understand why you would think that's open world. Okay, let's save it for the extended and we'll talk
Okay.
about
We'll
the
talk
difference
about
between
open world. I'm making a note.
But Simon Pegg also wrote Star Trek Beyond, The World's End, and Hot Fuzz, which is pretty
Yes,
cool.
I do remember
And
Hot
he's in it.
Fuzz.
Yeah, they're great. It was part of the. I want to say it's part of the 3-flavor Cornetto trilogy. Did you hear about that at all?
Yes, where there's like a different color ice cream in each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in Shaun of the Dead, I believe it was red.
Strawberry. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's strawberry. Yes. Red for blood. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was thinking was blood.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I do
But I
want to say.
believe.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say the reason I believe it was strawberry is because Edgar Wright got really, really hungover. He drank a whole bunch, got hungover, and the only thing that cured it was a Cornetto ice cream. And I want to say it might have been strawberry. I think that's why they chose it first.
Okay, wouldn't be my first choice, but you know what? You do you.
Yeah. Listen, if it's a good strawberry ice cream, it's not bad,
Sure.
but not
If
for
it's
me.
good ice
Not
cream, it's good ice cream. What
agreed.
are you gonna do? So before we get into this, I do want to start by saying to fully understand the humor and the quick wit and a lot of the quips in this movie, you really need to watch it because we're not going to be able to relay like every little joke or bit of sarcasm. And they move fast in this movie. Like we meet so many characters right off the bat and learn their interwoven dynamics. And like that first scene, I was like, wait, oh, hold on. I got to write this person's name. Okay. There's so much going on. And because we're starting off the movie in the middle of an awkward conversation.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right. 100%. Great
So ready
humor,
to
but
put 'em
yeah,
up?
it's quick. It's quick-witted and it's a very specific type of humor and it's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you ready to just jump into it?
I think we should just hop right into the episode. Let's do
Okay.
it.
If I look distracted, it's because my finger started bleeding and I'm like trying to fix that below the camera. Anyway.
Oh no. Oh
we're just
no.
gonna
Are
move
you a
on.
zombie? Did you get
I hope
bit?
not. So we start off by meeting Shaun and Liz at the bar or pub, the Winchester, which we're going to hear a lot about in this movie.
Yes, the Winchester. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you already
as we
mentioned.
said, Shaun is played by Simon Pegg and Liz is played by Kate Ashfield.
Yes. Liz is trying to tell Shaun that essentially she wants to spend more time together. You know, she wants to go on dates. She wants him to keep his promises. She's not asking for a lot. And it seems like they're having a private conversation about their relationship until she mentions Ed, Shaun's best friend, who's played by Nick Frost, who
And
they
in
were
real life. Oh
in
my
real
God.
life. Yeah,
Best friends. Yes.
exactly. I love that.
Mhm. It was their relationship was like based off their real friendship. And Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright had to fight to get like to have Nick in the movie because they're like the investors and stuff like that were a little bit unsure of it. And they were like, no. Like they pushed hard to make sure that because they wrote it for Nick. They wrote that role
Right.
for Nick specifically. And it would not have worked if it was somebody else. So they
Yeah.
really pushed hard for it.
Yeah, they have a natural dynamic in this movie, and that really explains it. And also,
Yeah.
I respect that so much. You push for your best friend, right?
Dude, yes. 100%. 100%. Yep.
So yeah, it seems like they're having this private conversation, but then when she mentions Ed, we pan over and we see Ed is right behind them within earshot. He's playing an arcade game and he's like chiming into their conversation,
Pinball.
right?
It's so loud. He's
Pinball.
playing a loud ass pinball game.
Yes. And then Shaun mentions her friends, David and Diane, and we see that David and Diane are not only sitting right next to Liz, but they are also in the conversation giving their input.
Mm-mm.
Like, we need a little bit of boundaries here, Liz. Okay.
There's no boundaries. Like, what are
No,
we all in a quadruple relationship here? Like,
that's what it seems like because they are all up in their business. Ed is very crass and rude right off the bat, right? We learned that really fast. Diane and David, I was going to say David are nosy as hell. They're
yeah.
judging that Liz hasn't met Sean's mom yet, and they keep interjecting. I would lose it.
Oh, we're not having this conversation in a pub with friends. I'm sorry.
No,
Like, that's not fucking
absolutely
happening. I
not.
don't know. No. But, and also, like, another thing I think we should point out about Ed, and we'll start to see it, is like, he's the guy that is your best friend, but nobody else can fucking stand him because they don't see him the way and know him the way that you do. Like,
Yeah,
that's sort of the vibe you get from Ed, is like, at face value, he just comes across as like a stoner dealer loser who plays video games and doesn't do anything.
yeah.
But then as the movie goes on, like, you can see, yeah, he is like a lot, but he also loves his friend, and he does some pretty fucking crazy shit for him. So
He does. I do have some feelings about Ed throughout this movie, especially as I was
yeah.
rewatching it. I was like, Ed, come
Oh,
on.
he's insufferable. He wouldn't be my best friend. I would kick him out of the car. But I'm just saying, like, for
Yeah,
context. Yeah.
yeah. Liz essentially is telling Sean that she doesn't want to spend every weekend at the Winchester, right? We end up cutting to the opening credits here after this conversation. We're seeing a bunch of people walking around the city slowly, running errands, all kind of looking like their daily mundane routines have already turned them into zombies. But they're
Yes,
not yet.
exactly. Right.
Everyone's just kind of mindlessly walking around. And then we see Sean at his apartment stumbling around and moaning, very similar to a zombie, but he's just waking up. They do a lot of foreshadowing here.
Yes, and it's a mirror shot from Day of the Dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. Of the opening scene.
It's
Yes.
actually where Rhodes is about to get it, and a zombie comes walking down, and he walks just like Sean here.
Oh. Okay. I was thinking the first zombie that has like his jaw blown off walking down the street.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. What a handsome fella. He looks great.
Right. So
So
we
as we
see
go on, as we go on, I might be referencing some of these because I have a
yes, please
list of
do.
all the references. So I might
Hell
hop
yeah.
in here and there with them. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So Ed is sitting in the dirty ass living room playing video games, and Sean sits down to play with him. They already look like zombies, so that's the similarities we're seeing here. And there's garbage, there's cans, there's food all over the coffee table. That would fucking
I
send
could
me too.
never.
I
Oh, I would
can't.
lose it. I'd
And
fucking
I'm not
lose
like
it.
a germaphobe, but like food rotting, anything that can smell or rot or attract pests, absolutely the fuck not. No.
Oh, well, you know how I am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, the OCD comes out and I'm like,
Yeah.
can't do it. Can't do it.
So Sean has to get ready for work, and we meet his roommate, Pete.
Oh,
So really,
Pete.
this is Pete and Sean's apartment. Ed is staying there, but he was only supposed to be staying there for a short time, like 5 years ago. And he's still there. And he's not
Yeah.
working.
And
He's
he's
not
not
paying
working.
rent.
Yeah.
He's not cleaning.
No.
I know Pete is painted to be the bad guy here.
Oh,
but
I'm Pete. I would be like, your friend needs to fucking go.
nothing that Pete says here. I mean, there is one point in the movie where he does kind of like mock Sean a little bit. And sure, it's rude, but nothing he says about Ed is necessarily wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I
he's like,
agree.
he's a mooch.
Yeah. He's a moon goon. I agree.
He's a moon goon. Oh my gosh, he really is a moon
He's a
goon. He's
moon
just
goon.
oblivious.
So when Sean is getting ready, there are a lot of like quick cuts here. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Okay, so they call those crash zooms, and they're a nod to Army of Darkness. There's a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of that in like the Evil Dead movies. There's a lot of
Yes.
like I didn't know that they were called crash zooms, and I
Yeah.
love them. I didn't know that was like the technical term, and now I'm like, ooh. And of course, I went down a fucking rabbit hole on that,
I
but I
love
won't
it.
get into it. But yeah, so it is like a little. I don't know if you would call it a nod, but inspired by.
I think this movie has so many nods to so many
Oh
movies,
yeah,
for sure.
and even Edgar Wright talks about shot for shot what they. I can't wait till we get to the long tracking shot when Sean's walking in the streets. I can't wait to talk about it.
Oh,
Okay,
I
let's
love
keep
that
going.
scene.
Yeah.
So Pete is complaining about all of this. He's also mad that Sean forgets to lock the front door, which I would also be upset about. That's dangerous, right?
He didn't just lock it, he left it open, like wide open.
Right. Yeah. So that's a problem. Safety issue, okay?
Yeah.
When Pete turns around to go to work, we see that Ed tapes papers to his back that says, "I'm a prick. Like my brother in Christ. You are a sloppy mooch. Who are you to call anyone anything? He's letting you stay in his apartment rent free."
Yeah, he needs to grow up for sure. Like,
Yeah.
he's got to grow up.
And then he apologizes to Sean, but then he goes, "No, Sean, I apologize." And it's only because he farted. We realize.
Yeah, he's trying to be like sincere, and then it's like, no, actually, he's just being a dick still.
He's just apologizing because he farted, and he tells Sean that he'll stop doing it. "I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing," is what he says. So now, as Sean
Yes.
is leaving the house, we hear that Liz is leaving a message on the answering machine asking him to make their date for 8, not 7, or vice versa.
Right.
I don't know. I might have got that backwards. Either way, he needs to change the time of their date. Now, Sean is walking through the neighborhood. Is this the scene you were talking about?
Okay, yes. Can I talk about this scene, please?
Please.
Okay, so this is, I believe they call a tracking shot, where it's just one long continuous scene. So there's no cuts. And I guess, I don't know if it was the producer or if it was like maybe an investor. I'd have to double check on it. But apparently, there was a lot of pushback on this opening tracking shot. It was the very first thing that they shot of the entire film. It was the most challenging and the most detail oriented. So because the exact same, they filmed the exact same sequence again when the apocalypse starts, and we see
Right.
the exact same people. We see him trip the same way, and all of that was done the first day of shooting, and they started adding more and more details into it just
Uh-huh.
as a way to say, fuck you, we're going to get this done and even make it harder. So they started adding in, like, for example, you'll see Sean walks into a convenience store and right next to it is Bub's Pizza.
Mhm.
There are so, which obviously we know is from Day of the Dead, but there's all these like little tiny details. And when you go back and watch it and then you watch it again with like the later scene and you see like they did not miss a fucking beat, man.
Yeah. It's so
It is
good.
so challenging. It is so challenging to do a one shot like that. For it
Yeah.
all to work out perfectly, the pressure of that. Anyway,
For real.
I just think it's I think it's an incredible scene. Like, I don't know. I loved it.
I agree. It's great,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you pointed that out. So as he's walking through, as you're mentioning, this tracking shot, and he's walking to the store,
Mhm.
and we see a guy washing his car. We see a kid playing soccer. He walks in to grab a drink.
Oh, we see somebody going for a jog. We
Mhm.
see he trips going over like a curb.
Yeah.
There's the kid playing soccer. Like, yeah, he's kind of running into all these like different people.
Yeah.
He knows the shop clerk. I forget what the guy's name is, but he knows who he is. Bit of a jump
Yeah.
scare there, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to grab a drink at the store.
Diet
We see
Coke.
newspaper headlines only for a second, and then he gets distracted. So throughout the movie, I will say we never get a clear answer on what causes the apocalypse here, but there are hints throughout the movie that are nods to other movies as well.
Yes. Oh my God. I was about to say that, but this is so exciting. Okay.
Yes,
You
go
tell
ahead.
me. Okay. No, do you know what's on the newspaper? Because you tell me and then I'll tell you what I read.
Oh shit, I didn't see what actually
Oh.
said on the newspaper.
Oh.
But
I'm sorry. I did not mean to put you on the spot. I got so excited.
I wrote down a few of the references, but when it happened, I was typing and I'm like, shit, what did that say? And then I'm searching it. So I don't know what the actual newspaper said.
Okay. I don't know what it says word for word, but I can tell you that one of the headlines is a nod to Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, which is a 1974 zombie film where the outbreak was caused by pesticides.
Yes, the crops. And I have the specific movie name in my notes toward the bottom. So
Let Sleeping Corpses Lie?
No, the movie.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it's called.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a different movie too written down somewhere.
Yeah, because there were different headlines on the newspaper, and each one I think is a reference to another movie. That's the only one that I caught on to. Yeah.
I have some notes toward the end of the episode that we'll get to where I have a few of the references of what might have caused the apocalypse and then which movies they are nodding to or paying homage to.
Hell yeah.
Homage? Homage?
Homage. We always do that. I think it's homage.
It still bothers me. I feel like I don't know the answer to that. But anyway.
It's like niche, right? Niche? I don't know. I say niche.
I say niche.
I say niche. And then someone said niche. Somebody said crick once instead of a creek. And I laughed so hard. Dude, I was bawling. I was laughing so hard. I was like,
definitely a regional thing.
Like, I've known you for how long and I've never heard you say the word crick before?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Anywho.
Okay, so a lot of weird stuff is happening, and during Sean's mundane daily routine, and like for example, he's on the bus, he sees a woman casually faint outside on the street. We don't really know why. He's just seeing
Mhm.
things happen, but then he has to, continue on with his day. And then at
Exactly.
work, we see that Sean works at Forey Electric, which first of all reminds me of a Circuit City. Second of all, Forey is a nod to the actor who plays Peter in Dawn of the Dead, Ken Forey, who
Yes.
I was more familiar with as a child as Keenan's dad on the Nickelodeon show Keenan and Kel.
Wow, dude. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that show because we didn't get Nickelodeon in Canada. So
I figured you might not know that one in particular,
yeah.
but I know a lot of people listening know Keenan and Kel. And when
Hell
I
yeah.
saw Ken Forey, like that was, it's so weird to say. Like, obviously, Dawn of the Dead is a great movie and I wanted to cover it regardless. But that was one of the reasons I was like, damn, I really want to cover it because I want to talk about Ken Forey. So I'm glad I'm getting to talk about it now.
Okay, we will cover Dawn of the Dead, I promise, when I'm more
Yeah.
emotionally stable.
Hell yeah. But Sean here in this Forey Electric is managing basically a bunch of kids, like 17-year-olds. They're rude. They're not paying
Yes.
attention to him. They're
Oh,
on their
and
phones.
they're chewing gum too. And Edgar Wright is quoted as saying that he like the teens chewing gum, like there's something weirdly sinister about it. That's why he included it in.
Okay.
So
I
I
think
thought
it
that
is
was interesting.
seen. Yeah, I'd say it's seen as being unprofessional in general. I remember being yelled at when I was pretty new in professional wrestling about chewing gum during my promos. Like, you need
Oh,
to stop chewing gum. It looks so bad.
dude, I was in acting class on Monday and I was doing my scene and I have gum in my mouth 24/7. You know, I'm an Orbitz girl. I have 8, 12, 100 packs on me at all
This is
times.
not an ad, unless you
No,
want it to
but
be Orbit.
Orbitz, shout out to you, baby. I love you. My acting coach, Frank Rossi, was literally like, "Is there gum in your you've been my student for 6, 7 years and you've got gum in your mouth?" I was just like, "Oh shit." Cuz yeah, you're definitely shouldn't, but
Yeah. There's a part in this scene where one of the kids says to Sean, "You got red on you," which is a running bit throughout the film.
mhm.
There's a red pen leaking in his pocket of his shirt, though later you can imagine what the red will be instead of ink, right?
Yeah.
Also, I noticed that I was going to say Simon, Sean is trying to sell this small TV that looks like a brick and it costs 499 pounds, which really bothered me. That's even more in US dollars. Like, what the
A
fuck?
lot. That's a lot of money. He also looks very unfulfilled in this job. Like he
Yeah.
looks very bored. I mean, anyone that's worked retail knows like some days are great and some days depends on who you're working with that day can just be
Yeah.
really hard to get
They
through.
really hammer it in that his life is kind of mundane. He's kind of a loser. Him and Ed are both kind of losers at this point because, I mean, Ed's just chilling, playing video games all day, every day, doing nothing else.
Yeah.
Sean, doesn't even want to take his girlfriend on dates. He just wants to get drunk every weekend at the Winchester.
Yeah, a
Not
little
very fulfilling,
immature. They're
right?
stagnant. Yeah, they're not moving forward in life.
Right.
Yeah.
So Sean's stepdad comes to remind him to not miss his visit with his mother tomorrow and that he should bring her some flowers. That I just said that really weird. I was like, some flowers. Some that felt like when you're slipping on ice and you're trying to save it. That's what that sentence just felt like to me, where I was like, nope, you still got it. Keep going.
Keep saying
Should
it.
bring,
Oh, it's
that he
funny.
should bring her some flowers that he should have brought her for Mother's Day. And he also
Yes,
said, you got red on you.
this is like a bi-monthly visit he has to have with mom.
Yes, with mom. I do
With
love when
mom.
people say mom.
Me too. Me too.
So one of the kids is giving Sean shit. And just as Sean says, no, I keep my work and my personal life completely separate, Liz calls Sean at work because he hasn't responded to her about the reservation, right? He's being
Yes.
such a dick here because he's trying to play it cool in front of this kid. Like, she's all excited on the phone, like, hello, and just being really sweet to him. And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
responding to her so coldly. He's like rolling his eyes. He's pretending he's shooting himself in front of the kid. Like, and then when he hangs up, he's just very cold, like, goodbye, Liz. And then he tells the kid it's Liz from head office. Like, if I ever found out that my partner was doing that, cut off. Like,
Yeah.
in the
And
relationship, your balls and your head, cut off.
yeah, and like she's like really pretty and like he's a good-looking guy, but she's out of his league in my opinion, just based off of his low effort as a partner.
Oh, the effort alone. Absolutely.
Like, girl, girl, you can find someone taller, hotter, and cares about you
Not
more.
taller.
No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
she seems like she really cares and loves him. And I'm not saying he doesn't, but like he's gotten so comfortable that it's like you need to
He's not
shake up.
showing it.
You got to shake him up a little bit. Put the
Yeah,
fear
he
of
needs to
God
put
in
in.
him.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to show some effort, especially because she's coming to him and asking for it even. She is asking for it. And
Yes,
he's
she's
just like,
asking. Yeah,
like it's a
he's you
chore.
know, he's whatever. He'll kick out. It's okay.
Yeah.
We stand Sean. He just, you know what? He's on an arc. He's on a
He
story
is.
arc right
He's
now.
on an arc. He is on an arc. It's important to note that. I mean, we could sit and dissect this relationship right now for the whole hour, but we're going to move on.
We love to do it. We love to do it.
So after work, Sean is at the florist. He sees a man running down the street like he's running from something. And Sean does notice this, but just for a second. And then he gets distracted again at the florist. And then he sees a man moving much like a zombie across the street. But a bus passes and then the man is gone.
I might have a tidbit for that
Yes.
man running, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
It is a shot-for-shot scene from Invasions of the Body Snatchers, 1978. Have you seen that movie? I fucking love that movie.
Yes.
It's so good. I love that movie. Oh my God. We got to cover it at some point for sure.
Yep, I'm making a note of it. I love that when that happens during episodes too. We're like, we got to cover that. All right. Actually, Shaun of the Dead is one of those movies we've talked about so many times. And whenever we bring it up in other episodes, we're like, we got to cover it.
Gotta cover it.
Finally, we really do it. So now while Sean is walking down the street, we see a man passed out in his car, head on the steering wheel like there was an accident. There's an ambulance there and everything when a woman stops him, his friend Yvonne.
Oh,
She's
Yvonne.
Like,
I feel like
things?
Yvonne's got to be an ex, right? Like Yvonne seems a little too like, are you still with Liz? I can't tell if she's just a gossiper or like they've hooked up because the energy there feels like they've hooked up. Like we've had sex energy. Like, do you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it seemed like to me.
I could see that. I don't think they ever confirm it, but it is like, oh, how are you? Just catching up and everything. Meanwhile, all this is happening in the background and they're just casually talking and chatting.
Yeah, the ambulances and all that.
Yeah. She does ask about Liz, and he remembers that he didn't make the reservation for their date. So he gets home and tries to make that reservation at Fulci's restaurant, which is definitely a nod to Italian film director Lucio Fulci.
Yes. We have to cover some of those. Like Zombie. Yes. Hello, Zombie Shark. We have to.
Yeah.
Gates of Hell. We should probably cover that as well.
Hell yeah.
House by the Cemetery as well. That too.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that one too.
Yeah, the House by the Cemetery. We should definitely cover it.
But Fulci's restaurant is full because he waited till the last second. Also, by the way, Fulci directed 2 White Fang movies. So
dude, random. I'm so mad you said it because I was so excited to tell you about it because I know you're obsessed with fucking White Fang.
I was going to say, you know how I feel about White Fang. When I was looking up his movies, I was like, wait, White Fang? What the hell?
Dude, the rabbit hole I went down. I cannot wait to drop this bomb on AK.
Well, I was very excited when I saw it, just so you know.
Okay, then I'm happy. Then there's a part of me that's very happy.
Yeah. Okay. So Liz calls and Sean lies to her and says, oh, there's been a mix up, but she knows that he didn't book it in the first place. And he does eventually admit it. So she's ultimately, at the end of this conversation, he suggests they go to the fucking Winchester.
Dude, like, you know what the thing is? I get it. Every relationship gets boring. Sometimes it happens. We all go through boring periods. But like, your bombshell girlfriend is telling you to get off your ass and fucking take her on a date. Dude, do it. Like, just do it. Just do it. Stop. That's all she wants. That's all she wants. She just wants you to put effort in. That's it. And effort is not so hard. It's
really not because you know what? That fancy restaurant is booked. Guess what? You know what you're going to do? You're going to tell your roommates to get the fuck out. You're going to clean up. You're going to make a dinner. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Light some candles. Be like, I did this for you, babe. Boom. Yeah. Problem solved. She would appreciate it.
Not only will she appreciate it, but like, you're going to get lucky, man, because she appreciates that you're fucking looking out and taking care of her. Hello. They're so silly. Anyways, okay, moving along.
So at this point, we don't even see Liz hang up. It just cuts right to Sean grabbing the flowers for his mother, by the way, and running to her apartment. When he gets there and he rings the intercom, David and Diane are, of course, in there answering and saying that Liz doesn't want to see him. So Sean ends up climbing up however many stories to go through the window.
Very sweet,
Liz is obviously pissed.
But that's sweet. Like, he's trying to be a little Romeo.
Yeah, I'll go with that for
Like, I'm
now.
trying. Like, I'm giving him
I
something,
know.
okay?
I know he has an arc coming, so I'm gonna forgive it. Okay. But
Mm,
Liz is obviously pissed, and she
mhm.
says she's gonna go out with David and Diane instead. And they're arguing off in a different room, but David and Diane are, of course, listening because they are right smack dab in the middle of their relationship for some reason. And Liz says something about Sean calling them a failed actress and a twat. And he only denies the failed actress part. He's like, I never called Diane a failed actress. Does not deny calling David a twat, though.
No, but David is the worst. At one point, who says "get fucked" Four Eyes? Which one of them
Oh,
says that?
Sean. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't remember when it happened, but I wrote it in giant capital letters and put ha 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 next to it. So obviously it landed for me.
Yeah, I did write it. I did write it in my notes as well. Liz starts listing all the things that Sean has promised her and didn't follow through with. And now all of a
Yikes.
sudden, he's like, "Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it all. You know, I'll stop smoking. I'll throw away my cigarettes." But it's too little, too late at this point. Just like
Yeah.
the JoJo song that we were all singing when we were 12 and we were way too
Oh,
young to be singing about relationships, but we were.
100%, dude. Like, I was just listening to All Saints.
Forever?
What a group.
Never
Yes.
ever?
Never ever, baby.
I
Yes.
had that album. I had that
Me
CD.
too. Me fucking what a fucking banger. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? Never ever have I ever. Yeah. Anyway.
But yes, David is chiming in per usual, and this is where Sean tells him, get fucked, Four Eyes, and that he should go out with Liz if he loves her so much. And David is so awkward about this because you know it's
Oh, he
fucking true.
does.
He's like,
Oh, he you could
I don't know
tell
what
from
you
the
mean by
beginning,
that.
right? Like
Well,
he hates Sean so much that it's like, okay, you either want to fuck Sean or you want to fuck Liz. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of them.
it's one of them. And Diane is just
Right?
looking at David a little awkward because they are a couple. David and Diane are a couple.
They don't seem
Awkward.
like a couple at all. Like they seem like they
No.
have like they seem so like plain.
No, and Diane calls this out in the end of the movie too.
Yeah.
So Liz notices that the flowers he brought are for his mom. And when she asks Sean about it, he lies about it at first. Like this alone would I'd be like, no, like I'm not dealing with this shit. You just randomly
No.
lie. Like your instinct is to lie. I don't have a
Mm,
tolerance to like teach you how to be a better person. You know what I mean?
I do.
But he does end up telling her the truth. And she says if she doesn't do something, she's going to end up at the Winchester every weekend drinking herself to death. And Sean's like, what do you mean do something? We cut to the door slamming in his face. She broke up with him. And I was cheering for it at this point,
So was I.
honestly.
Dude, I was too. Because as soon as she said that, I know exactly what she's saying. I went, no, I'd be out too. I can't live that kind of life. Sorry. I'm out.
Especially the way it was very relatable how she was kind of just talking out loud to herself, not even to
Yeah.
Sean. She's like, if I don't
Yes.
do something, like she's seeing her future and it's not looking good. So
Yeah.
she's like, I have to change something or I'm going to get stuck in this pattern and just become complacent like he is.
Oh, of course. But 100%. Like you have to look out for yourself, girl. Like, and
At that
sometimes you
point,
have to step back. You have to
yeah.
step back so that they can get their shit together and figure out what the fuck they want.
Right. Especially
You
because she
know?
was being very clear with him what she wanted and he still was fucking it
Yeah.
up.
Because
So,
he's like, yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
I'll stop.
And of course, now he's all distraught. He is crying. You know, you didn't show her that you loved her, but now you want to show some emotion. Now all of a sudden, you're not too cool to be in love, right?
Okay, can I ask you a question? Like, how many times have we been scorned because Jesus?
No, for real. Like, no, straight up, like someone acting like they're too cool to be like in love or to be
Can't.
obsessed with you or
Not me.
whatever. And then after they want to fucking cry about it, like I have no sympathy at this point.
I can't cry one tear. I'm a lover girl through and through. So
Mhm.
if you're not going to be a lover boy back and then you're going to cry about it,
Yeah. Come on.
see ya.
Come on.
Bye. Have a good life.
So he's walking to the bar in the rain. He throws the flowers in a garbage can outside of the Winchester. And now he's at the bar with Ed, who's saying, fuck her. Of course, Ed's going to be like, she's the problem, you know? Ed can't even dissect or be introspective of his own life. There's no way that he's going to notice that Sean is doing anything wrong in his, right? But
Oh
Ed
yeah,
is trying to,
100%.
yeah.
100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sean's eyes are bloodshot here. He is torn up, and Ed is trying to cheer
He's
him up. He's
sad.
doing some monkey impressions. They start doing shots.
Oh, I have a little something for the monkey. The
Yes.
monkey impressions. Would you like to hear it?
Hell yeah.
So Ed references Clyde, who's an orangutan from Every Which Way But Loose, which is either a movie or a TV show from 1978.
Okay.
And the whole thing is him like acting out exactly what the I think he's an orangutan does in the movie slash film, and
Okay.
he's at a bar and whatever. But it's Ed's party trick. It's like supposed to
Yes.
be Ed's little party trick.
Hell yeah. I love that you have that.
Yeah,
So Ed has a little monologue here, and all of it foreshadows the events to come. I think that this movie is so clever, and I love
it's
this kind
so
of shit.
dude. I wrote clever so many times in my
I
notes
know.
because
I'm
it
like, I
is.
need
They
to look up
thought of
a
everything. You
I
know
need
what
to
it is?
look up a synonym for clever.
It's so detailed. It's like very very rich with detail.
Yes.
Hmm.
So he suggests that they keep drinking, and he says, Bloody Mary first thing, a bite at the king's head, couple at the Little Princess, stagger back here, and bang, back at the bar for shots. Which, I mean, we're talking about spoilers in this entire episode, right? Bloody Mary references Mary, the first zombie that they're going to see in the backyard. We have a bite at the king's head, which is Philip, the stepdad, getting your thumbs up on your screen. Philip, the stepdad, getting bitten. Couple at the Little Princess is David and Diane at Liz's apartment, which they go there later. Stagger back here and bang, back at the bar for shots when they go back to the Winchester and start shooting.
Like, when's the last time you saw a movie that was so consistent and detailed down to like every like I don't see any slips in this in terms of like their attention to detail. When's the
Right.
last time you watched a movie that was this intricate? Because it
Or
is
the last
intricate.
time that you watched a movie like this that didn't hand you the answer at the end of the movie. If this was a movie that was made
Yes.
today, they would have played that scene of Ed saying that back at the end of it, of him repeating it, and they would have showed you each scene hand in hand of we were
Dude,
referencing this and we're referencing that. That's one thing that is so enjoyable about this movie and movies like it is that you get rewarded for not only paying attention, but for me, for the second watch. That's when I realized it. I didn't realize that the first time because I forgot about what he had said then. But then rewatching it, I'm like, wait a minute, he's
dude,
referencing something here.
dude, exactly what you're saying is why I struggle with new movies and TV shows
Same.
because I can't stand that TV shows and movies now are written so that oh my god, how am I going to say this?
It
People are
rewards the
always on their
people who
fucking
aren't paying
phones.
attention.
Yes, it's geared towards people that are like playing on their phones. And like I don't need a character to explain the entire plot of this fucking movie for me like I'm an idiot. I just
Yeah,
watched 90 minutes of it. I'm with you
right.
100%. I can't stand it. I find it to be so almost insulting. Like we're
Yeah,
just like these mindless idiots watching things like no, like give me some detail. Give me something to think about. You don't have to fucking feed me with a spoon, you know?
right. I know we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, don't reward them, reward us. We're paying attention. But also,
Yeah.
there have been times where I watch a movie and I'm like, wait, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm
Me
either
too.
going to watch it again or I'm gonna look it up. Like you can just Google what other people's opinions are. If it's like a vague open ending that you feel like is subjective, maybe you
Mhm.
want to look it up on even Reddit, just to see what other people think
Yeah, that's fun.
or talk
That's
to people
fun.
about it.
That's fun. I like that. I'm
Yeah,
into that. Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
So Ed starts giving backstories to a bunch of the bar patrons. One old lady he says is an ex porn star and calls her a coccicidal maniac. And then he mentions the bartender having ties to the mafia, and that's why he keeps this rifle above the bar. And Sean is like, no, that's just there because it's called the Winchester, which is a brand of rifle.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay.
And Ed is saying, look, I'm not going to say anything cliche to you. I'm just saying it's not the end of the world. As someone slams their hand on the window outside, it's like frosted glass, so you can't really see who it is. And the bartender just yells, we're closed. They just think it's a drunk trying to get in. But he's moaning in a very specific way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this next part, I love this part so much because once again, you get rewarded for paying attention.
Yes,
So
tell me.
Sean and Ed are leaving the bar, and as they're leaving, you see this couple against the wall, and it looks like maybe they're making out. And
Mhm.
they even look over at them and they kind of laugh because they're hammered and they're walking home, right?
And they're like singing.
Yes. As they walk away, one of the people's heads that's against the wall snaps backwards. And you can see it. it's kind of blurry. Like, they're not the
Whoa.
focus of the scene. But in the background,
Yeah.
you just see a head snap back in an unnatural way. Clearly they're being eaten.
Whoa. I had no idea, dude.
Oh, you gotta watch it back. It's so good. I was like, whoa, oh my gosh, okay.
So they're walking down the street all drunk, and I just want to say that they're like singing, and I thought they were singing LL Cool J's Phenomenon, but I think it's a different song.
I
It
wrote
might be a
down
different
that
song,
it
right?
was Grandmaster Flash White Lines.
Okay, that makes sense. So he sampled it from LL Cool J sampled that then
Yeah.
from. Okay,
I
got you,
mean, I
got
don't
you.
know
Because
that
when I
much
heard it,
about
I was
LL
like,
Cool
ooh,
J,
I was like,
but
I like this song. I was like, yeah, something like if I was like singing along, and I'm like, I feel like maybe they're singing something different.
yeah. They end up seeing a man in the background who looks suspiciously like a zombie. He's in the distance, he's moaning. They just think it's another drunk man, and it almost sounds like he's singing the other part of the song with them.
Yes, exactly. It's so clever. I love it.
Now, back at the apartment, they are jamming to like electronic music. It reminded me of 90s dance a little bit. Not quite,
Mhm.
maybe a little bit.
Mhm.
Electronic, I would say, right?
Electronic, yeah, EDM. Yeah.
Pete fucking loses it. And I don't blame him because it is 4 o'clock in the morning and he has to work the next day.
Yes, and he's pissed and he tells them that everybody at work is sick, and then he tells them that he's feeling a little under the weather too, which
Mhm.
is not a good sign. Not a good sign.
Yes, and then Ed calls him a prick under his breath, and Pete goes off. He tells Ed all about himself real quick, which Ed needs to hear it, and then tells Sean he needs to get his shit together. He goes, let me guess, Liz did the dumping, which, okay, he is being a little mean here, but,
Sometimes you need a friend to be mean to you. Sometimes you need a friend to kick you in the ass.
or at
I'm
least tell
sorry.
you what's
Like,
up. And also the fact that they're
yeah.
like clubbing in the living room and he has to work in the morning. Like, yeah, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I don't know. I feel like you would tell me what's up, but you would do it in a certain way. I feel like we have
Same,
that relationship.
same, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
He calls Sean a loser. And we also see that his hand is wounded here. He mentions that someone tried to mug him and he got bitten in the process. He
Yikes.
goes, I don't
Means he
want to
got
hear
a
your
tetanus
hip hop.
shot.
And and Pete tells Ed to live in a shed if he wanted to live like an animal, which foreshadows the end of this movie, which is pretty wild.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Ed
See what I'm
also
saying? It's the writing is just like
yeah,
fucking top tier, man.
Ed
Top
also
tier.
says here, next time I see him, he's dead. Also not wrong.
Not wrong.
So now the next morning, Sean does the same walk. What did you call it? A tracked shot?
Oh, the crash shots. Yeah, but he also
No,
writes
not
when
crash
he's
shot. The one where he's walking through the thing.
oh oh sorry, a long tracking shot.
Long tracking shot. There we go.
Okay, but before he does, a couple of things really, really
Yes.
quick. One, when he's all hammered, what Pete says to him definitely lands because he writes on like a whiteboard on the fridge, go round mums, get Liz back, sort life out with a bunch of exclamation marks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, like I felt him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have a moment where you're like, oh well, I better make a note of it so that I do it. And it's like really
Yeah.
get your life together.
And to have that
I've written
moment
that
when
down in my
you're
journal.
hammered at 4 a.m., like it definitely landed for sure.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, yeah.
So yes,
And Ed is
now
sleeping on the couch.
oh,
Ed's sleeping on the couch, and he asks for a Corretto. That's where he asks for the ice cream.
yeah. So yes, now it's the next
Yeah.
morning. Sean does that same long tracking shot walk to the shop, just like the previous scene, but now he's hungover and everything is different. We see that people are
We s-
slowly walking in the streets. We see
Same
that
people. We see the same
the
people, but
same
they're all
people,
fucked.
the kid playing with the soccer ball. We see that the car that was being washed yesterday is now busted through the windshield. We see a man running down the street instead of jogging. We see he goes into the store. There's like blood on the glass when he, like a handprint, when he goes to get his
Yeah.
drink. The
Oh,
shop owner,
he gets a Diet Coke, and that was very specific because Edgar Wright thought it would be funny that he goes in there and instead of getting a regular Coke, he gets a Diet Coke. He just thought that was funny. I thought that was funny too.
and then the shop owner isn't
And
there.
he
Go ahead.
also slips. Do you remember that when he slips?
The
There was
same
no
way.
puddle there. There was no puddle there. There was no blood there. That was a fake slip. And Simon Pegg does it amazing. He puts over the sound department for getting that like sound,
The squeak.
the squeaky sound, but they couldn't because it's a tracking shot. It was unsafe to have any liquid on the
Oh,
floor
yeah.
because the cameraman has to walk backwards while he's tracking Sean.
Yeah.
So, or Simon. So they had to add it in digitally. So the fact that that's not a real slip, it looks like a real slip. Even the way he like turns a little bit when he's holding the Coke.
Yeah. For sure.
It's done so well. It's hard to do that and make it look real.
Yeah. So when he goes to pay, the store clerk isn't there. And he goes, I'll just leave the money on the counter. He goes to walk away. But in the background, we do see that someone, presumably the shop owner, is starting to slowly come for him like he has been turned. And so he leaves, or as he leaves, there are so many zombies, even though they never say the word zombie in this movie, I don't think either, right? But
They
there
say
are,
it one time, and Simon gets or Sean gets super upset when Ed calls them zombies.
yes, we don't say the Z word.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
for simplicity, I'm going to call them zombies. So there are
Yeah.
so many in the streets. There's a dead man on the ground outside of his own house, and Sean is just oblivious here. He is hungover. I feel like in 2026, that would be the equivalent of someone walking around on their phone, just oblivious to everything going on around them, right?
100%, dude. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, like alarms are going off, car alarms are going off. It's deserted. Yeah, it's like someone looking down on their iPhone while they're walking
Yeah.
for sure.
So Sean
Yeah.
gets home, he sits on the couch, still in his uniform, by the way, and he flips through
Mhm.
the channels that go back and forth between like the news and random shows, but all of the dialogue tells the story of what is happening now. Like each piece of dialogue says a full sentence about people being eaten and things of that nature.
Yeah, exactly. And he's flipping through the channels, so he's not really paying attention to what the reporters are saying.
Yeah. And then Ed says, "There's a girl in the garden." So in the backyard. Because that confused me at first. I'm like, the garden? But it's like the
Yeah.
equivalent of the backyard, I think. And then a woman is just standing there. She's turned away from them. They go outside to check and they're like, "Excuse me." Finally, Ed throws something at her. She turns around. Her eyes are half closed and she looks relatively normal, but you can tell she's kind of fucked up and they think she's drunk. They think
Okay,
everyone is
so
drunk.
Sean looks at her and he's like, "Oh my god, she's drunk."
Yeah.
And originally it was she's pissed, but they decided to go with drunk because American audiences weren't going to understand what pissed means because pissed means mad in the States and
Right.
Canada. So, and they wanted, there was in the back of their mind, they were like, this might get a release in the US. Let's change it to drunk because the Americans they'll know what that
Oh,
means.
when you just said she's pissed, I'm like, I immediately thought angry. I'm like, yeah, I guess they could have said that too, but I wasn't even thinking of pissed drunk.
Pissed drunk, yeah. It's like, yeah, they're because they're different words, different meanings, right?
So she starts walking over to them and they're laughing about it. Like, "Oh, this drunk lady, haha," until she gets on top of Sean. Sean asks for help. He's on the ground. Ed goes into the house. He's like, "I'll be right back." He comes back with a wind up camera and he's taking a picture, then finally helps get her off. She keeps coming for Sean. Eventually, Sean has to shove her back. She falls on a pole, impaling herself. And obviously, they're like, "Oh my gosh." Then she gets back up. You can see right through her
It's,
body and you can see
dude,
their faces. It's such a cool shot.
I feel like Sean's reaction to her falling on that initially is so good.
Yeah.
That like panic of like, holy shit, is that person dead? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, because like, think about it, people get in bar fights and like, it's so, to me, they're so scary because you can hit your head. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Accidents happen. And I just, his look on his face was so good. It was such a good sell.
Yeah. Ed starts
Hmm.
winding up the camera again as she's getting off of the pole and Sean stops him. They turn and there's another zombie, but this one is giant and he looks fucked up. Like his mouth
Yeah.
looks like it's decaying.
He looked like, he reminded me of Henrietta from Evil Dead. Yeah, Evil Dead.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Like
Okay.
just like a big blob of like, or like in Brain Damage, just like a big blob of like gross.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he looked like, right? Like he looked like kind of like big and
Yeah,
gross.
for sure. His face is all fucked up. And so they go
Yeah.
inside, they try to call the police. And the news is saying that all the highways are at a standstill. Everyone stay inside, lock your doors and windows. As they're watching this on the couch, a zombie just starts walking in the front door. Remember, Pete was mad at Sean earlier for leaving the door open, not locking it. So now the zombie is in the house. This one looks like he's coming from prom. He has one arm and he's in like a tux.
And you can see him earlier when Sean's walking home. You can see him in the background on the sidewalk.
Like he's slowly coming toward the house. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
They start
Yeah.
throwing things at him until finally smashing an ashtray on his head, which seems to work. And they think they're safe inside until those other zombies, the Mary, which is the reference to Ed's monologue earlier, that was the woman in the backyard, and that other fucked up looking zombie, break the windows.
Yes, they're coming inside now.
And this is where I don't have
Oh,
any notes.
and the name tag that the girl in the backyard is wearing, her name is Mary, but the actual name tag says Landis on it, which is a nod to John Landis, who directed An American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
So, little tidbit, love it.
Love it.
So after they kill this one-armed zombie, we do hear the news reporter saying on the TV that the only way that, like, one way of destroying them is destroying the zombies is removing the head, destroying the brain, and that destroys the zombies. They say don't go outside, like stay inside, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What do Sean and Ed do? They go outside. So they go outside with a whole bunch of objects, right? And they start launching them at these two zombies that were outside, which is the ones that broke in
Like
but are
the
still outside.
worst objects.
The girl Mary. The worst objects, like just random ass, like things you'd find in your apartment.
Like
right?
a laundry basket, like a small laundry basket. I was like, what the fuck is that going to do?
Yeah, like a small laundry basket. There's a whole bunch of like random things. But then they grab a whole bunch of records.
Yes.
And they have a whole discussion. So basically they're launching these records now at the zombies, trying to like behead them or hit them in the head or whatever. And while they were shooting this, I mean, they had to throw it at real people, which I thought was like interesting. And they were like, I guess like every take, they were like, just, go all out, Ed or Nick, go all out, go all out. And he was like, okay, but I'm throwing these at a human,
Yeah.
But I'm going to go through really quick all of the records that they reference.
Because
okay?
one of them, I was like, you son of a bitch, you don't throw that record, but you'll list it.
Okay, so we've got New Order, Blue Monday. By the way, one of my favorite tunes. If I need like a pick-me-up, I put on either Blue Monday or Psycho Killer.
Blue Monday
okay.
always reminds me of The Wedding Singer because they play that in that movie as well.
It reminds me of Orgy because I love the cover of it.
That's what I think of
it
as well. Yes.
Early 2000s. Early 2000s, baby. Okay, so we've got Prince's Purple Rain. Amazing. We have Prince, Sign of the Times. We have Prince, the Batman soundtrack, which he ends up tossing. The Stone Roses. The Stone Roses, that's the name of the first album. Then the Stone Roses, The Second Coming, which in real life was Simon Pegg actually really did like that band and that album. Sade, Diamond Life, who Simon Pegg met in an elevator.
Oh.
And they had a little conversation about him throwing the record.
That was the
right?
one
I
where
thought
I was
that was
like,
pretty
you don't throw a fucking Sade record. How dare you?
Yeah, Simon Pegg met her in an elevator. Isn't that funny,
so
after that happened? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so they're trying to use these records to take out these zombies, and they're obviously. I mean, what do you think a bunch of records are gonna do? Let's be real here.
But they start sticking in his head, and I think that's why they're like, okay, we're gonna go with this.
Yeah, exactly. And also, at one point, because Ed and Sean start like arguing, they need more weapons because they've used all the records, they've used all their items, and Sean's like, earlier he had said that the shed was locked, and he's like, I'm gonna go to the shed, and he busts his ass through it, like he just bolts through, and as soon as he did that, I went, okay, Sean. I went, okay, there's more to you than meets the eye. Like, yes, you're a man that knows what he's doing. So he goes into the shed, and when he comes back out, he does have weapons. One of them is like a giant paddle.
Okay, it's a cricket
like a big
bat.
old paddle. A cricket bat.
But
when I'm saying paddle,
I was like, is that a paddle? And then I looked it up, and I was like, okay, it's a cricket paddle. But I think they don't call it paddles. They call it either a cricket bat. There's another word for it I have in my notes somewhere, or just a bat.
Just a bat. Okay. And then Ed has a shovel. He brings Ed a shovel. And then they just go over and they just start beating them over and over and over with this paddle in the shove. I'm going to call it a paddle because that's what I've called this whole in all my notes. But they just start beating the zombies with it, right?
Yeah, like going to town.
Yeah, like it's pretty over the top,
Yeah.
but I understand. Um, then we're gonna cut to Sean, who's like sipping coffee, and they're just like, and he's like shocked,
Oh, he's like
right?
traumatized, and Ed is eating that ice
Yeah.
cream. Ed doesn't care.
Yes, like Ed doesn't care. Sean, we can watch throughout the film, he definitely breaks down more and more, and you definitely see a different side of him start to come out. And I feel like maybe he was just really depressed. Like maybe he was just like no motivation,
You know what I think of?
feeling really
He makes me think of complacency. Like you're in your routine.
complacency.
This is now your
Yeah.
habit. And now the zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse is snapping you out of it and you're taking action because you do have it in you. It's just you were stuck in a mundane
Yeah.
routine.
Sometimes you need the worst thing ever to happen to have a better life. Okay. So the news report says also that if anyone is bit, they need to isolate. So they're finding out more and more and more about the actual apocalypse and what is happening, right? So then they're like, is Pete still home? I wonder if Pete's still home. And Ed's like, let's go find out. So they go to the staircase and Sean starts yelling up to Pete and he's like, Pete, are you up there? Like he's trying so hard to be like gentle.
Yeah.
But then Ed's like, they're like, well, his car's still here and his keys are here. Oh, and then Sean like rationalizes. He's like, oh, well, he probably just took a taxi or something because he wasn't feeling well. And so they don't think Pete's home because Pete's not responding.
Yeah.
So they think that Pete probably went to work or so he's not home.
Yeah, and then finally Ed yells, "Oi, prick!" And when Pete doesn't respond to that, they're like, "Okay, he for sure isn't home because he would have came down and like fought me, right?"
Exactly. And they're both like a little bit relieved, obviously.
Yeah.
And obviously they have Pete's keys, so that's also nice too. So Sean calls Liz, and then he calls his mom, and his mom, obviously, like every mom would, you stress out immediately because maybe not every mom, but like I feel like it's very normal to have a fear that your parents are not going to take something seriously that needs to be taken seriously. And that is exactly how his mom reacted. Like she was like, oh, Philip's not feeling well. And he's like, you need to lock yourselves inside. And she's kind of laughing and she's she's fibbing to him,
She seems
and
very
she
oblivious.
Oblivious. Yeah. But I know that fear. I know that fear for my mom. Like my mom got scammed from one of those fucking assholes that like scammed her out of her first and last month's rent for an apartment on like one of these. Yeah. Because she didn't ask me about it.
Oh, I fucking hate
I
that.
was like, isn't that the worst?
I'm pretty
think those
sure
type of people.
I'm pretty sure that my grandma, when she was alive, obviously that wouldn't have happened after, but I'm pretty sure she got scammed on like a Facebook thing. And it was
That's
the same
what I'm
thing
saying,
where
dude.
we were like,
it's horrible.
We were like, give me your phone. Like, let me go through this.
Yeah.
I'm still unclear on the details, but it pisses me off so bad. Have you ever seen, have you heard of The Beekeeper? I think it's The Beekeeper. Because it's a movie with, I feel like I'm trying to tell you a story and I don't know any of the details. Isn't it Jason Statham? Is he the action guy? The one that's always in the action
Yes.
movies?
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I know this movie. Yes.
It has to do with an old person getting scammed. And so like, I'm already invested. I was so like, let's go. Like it was a good movie.
What happened to my mom? But that feeling of like, no, mom, you're not listening to me. This is serious. Please. Even when I remember when COVID started, I was like, I called my mom and I was like, Mom, please stay in the fucking house. Like I was so scared because like, yeah, you worry about your parents, especially as you get older, you start to worry about your parents.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying Sean wants to go get his mom and he wants to get Liz and he wants to get everyone together. So he's like, Sean's talking to her and basically saying like, we're coming to get you, blah, 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 blah.
And Ed even says here, and is that what you're about to say right now? What Ed says to her? He kind
not
of like,
yet, but
sorry, go ahead.
It's okay.
I'm like so excited to say it. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, I love that you're excited. I'm gonna give you the honors. Let me just say one thing really quick.
Okay.
So Sean is on the phone with his mom and Ed is behind him and Sean turns and covers the phone and goes, we might have to kill my stepdad. And Ed's like, yeah. Like he says it so casually and like again, the humor of this film, it's like Ed is on board, no problem, and Shaun hates Philip. So he's like, yo, we might have to kill my stepdad. Cool, cool. I
Ed's like,
loved it.
great, sounds good. Like it's just a casual plan in the
Yes.
middle of the day
Yes.
because his
Yes.
mother references, or not references, his mother says that Philip has been bitten. She says some guys
Yeah,
try to
and
break
he's
into the house.
and he's under the weather. She
Yeah.
says that he's under the weather. Yeah.
So that's, yeah, Ed is relieved that Sean's mom wasn't bitten and he doesn't care that Philip was. But at one point, Ed leans over and yells into the phone, "We're coming to get you, Barbara." Which, of course, is a nod to Night of the Living Dead. And I love how they threw that in there. So fitting for the dialogue and the scene that was actually happening.
Yeah, and I would imagine that's why they called her Barbara, was
Of
as a
course.
nod
They
to Night
had
of the Living
to.
Dead for sure. So now Ed is asking Shaun, like, what's the plan? What are we gonna do? Right. So Shaun starts going over what he thinks that they should do. And as he's explaining it, we're seeing it happen. So at first, he's like, they take Pete's car, they go over to mom's, right? They take care of Philip, they grab mom, they go to Liz, they hold up, have a cup of tea until this whole thing blows over. That's how it first goes,
Yeah.
right? And then Ed is like, I don't think like Liz wants me to stay with her. Like, I don't think I want to stay with Liz. I think because they don't get along or whatever.
And Ed
And
also
so then
wants to go
Shaun,
somewhere specifically that he can smoke. That's his concern.
okay, so Shaun then changes the plan and then retells it, and then we're gonna rewatch it, but he does it faster,
Mhm.
and so it's a great bit.
Yeah.
I love it, but they do it like 2 or 3 times, and eventually they settle on they're gonna go take Pete's car to pick up their mom. They're gonna take care of Philip on when they're there. Then they're gonna drive to Liz, pick her up, and then they're gonna all go to the
The
Winchester,
fucking
have a
Winchester.
drink until it all blows over. They're headed to the pub.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the plan. That is what Shaun is like set on. Why he's going to the pub? Nobody knows.
So my little random rabbit hole that I started going down was Ed here goes, "Yeah, boy." And I went, "Is that a Flava Flav reference?" I don't know if you
Sure
watched
is.
Flavor of Love.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So I looked
Yeah.
into it because I was like, this has to be. That's Flava Flav's like catchphrase, right? But Flava of Love didn't come out until 2006. If you don't know about Flava of Love, let me just tell you, I rewatched both seasons. I watched it when it came out and I was obsessed. That's like my trash TV vice. And I rewatched it within the last 2 years and I'm obsessed still. But Flava of Love didn't come out to 2006. However, the first reality show, Flava of Love was a spinoff. And his show before that, Strange Love with Brigitte Nielsen, was also a spinoff. That one was from 2005. But Surreal Life first aired January 2003. That was his first reality show on, I think, VH1. And that would have been when he started saying it.
I
I mean,
watched that show.
granted, he was saying this since like the 80s with Public Enemy, right? But this is where this would have been topical in 2003, right before they started filming Shaun of the Dead. I had to look into it.
Oh, okay. I love that. No. I love it. I love the random rabbit holes that we
Yes.
stumble down. They're the best. So the reporter on TV again, because they love TV on, says, stay in your home. That's not their plan. Make no attempt to reach loved ones. Also not their plan. And avoid all physical contact with the assailants, which, I mean, yeah, that is their plan. You obviously don't want to run into them. Ed says, well, do you believe everything you hear on TV?
Like they've been following the news every step of the way so far, but now they're like, that's not what we want to do. So no, we don't believe them.
Listen, we've all lied to ourselves once or twice, okay? We all
Also,
have. It's going to work out.
Ed really wants to drive Pete's car. He's like really pumped to do that.
Oh, he's jazzed because Pete will never let Ed drive his
Yeah.
car. So he's like, I better get on this and do it now.
Right. So Shaun is in the bathroom.
Oh, and also this is where
Okay.
this is where Ed refers to them as zombies. Ed refers to them as zombies, and Shaun is like, don't say that. No, don't say that. And I guess it's a nod to like every zombie movie ever never referring to them as zombies.
Yeah,
like
all the ones that we
that's
covered,
like kind of
this loop. They don't say this.
a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't.
Which I never
They're
realized.
like the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give them a bunch of different names.
A
Yeah.
lot of them, yeah.
Mhm.
So now Shaun is in the bathroom. He's
Yeah.
kind of just staring at himself in the mirror, pumping himself up to go outside. He takes off his name tag. In the mirror, he can see a shadow of Pete behind the shower curtain. He looks, and sure enough, Pete is naked and he is definitely a zombie. And so
He is
Sean,
butt ass naked,
I
man.
know
He
they
got
never
no
show
clothes
it,
on.
but
No, but he
yeah,
naked.
it's implied he's
Yeah.
naked. Things are covering his nether region, and Sean is running down the stairs. He's gonna lock Pete in the bathroom, and he's like, we're gonna borrow your car. We'll be at the Winchester. Feel free to join us." And he gets in the car with Ed, and they book it.
Oh yeah, they're off.
When they're outside, Ed ends up hitting the alarm on the car, which attracts the horde of zombies outside. It's all the neighbors that we saw
Oh,
earlier.
also, yeah, and that little kid throws a ball right at Sean's head.
Yeah,
What an asshole. The kid's
even as a
still an
zombie.
asshole as a zombie. Yeah.
But they get the fuck out of there. They pass an
Oh,
ambulance.
and we also we see naked Pete looking at them through the front door.
Yes. And it's not the last that we will see of Naked Pete. They pass an ambulance where the body bag on a stretcher is moving, which is so creepy to look at. Like it's zipped up and the whole
Mhm.
bag is moving. They end up hitting a person. They back up to see if he's okay. I mean, this person looks
So funny.
fucked up. Like leg looks
No, his leg is
crazy.
broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sean is like, "Hello, are you okay? Is everything okay?"
Yeah.
And then the body starts moving and he's like, "Oh, he's just a zombie." And then they take off.
Yep. The radio is saying
So
that the
good.
bodies of the recently deceased are coming to life. And which is very similar to what we heard in Night of the Living Dead. And they get to Sean's mom's house. Now Ed really wants to drive Philip's car. That's the right name,
Yeah,
right?
cuz Philip's got a
Yeah.
Jag.
It's another P name,
Philip's got a Jag.
a
Yeah, Philip's got a
Jaguar.
Jag.
So Sean goes inside. Ed stays out to watch the car. His mom is just, like I said, so oblivious. And Sean tells her to put the
Mm.
kettle on. He'll handle Philip. Don't worry about it. She's very excited to put the kettle on. She's like, "Oh, I don't mind if I do."
She's like, "Oh, are you hungry?" He's like, "No." She's like, "Great, I'll make sandwiches."
Yes, like that type of mom. And so Sean
So
starts
sweet.
approaching Philip, who is sitting facing the TV, sitting in a chair. He has that cricket bat. Oh, a willow is another thing that they call it, a willow. But he has the cricket bat up, like he is about to smash Philip. He says, "I'm so sorry, Philip," who then replies, "Why? What have you done now, Sean?" And it scares the shit out of Sean because he thought he was
Scare.
dead.
It's a good jump scare.
Yeah, Philip is not a zombie, but he is bitten on his arm. He doesn't want to go to the doctor, but Sean's mom thinks the doctor is coming. And Sean's like, "Look, the doctor is not coming." In the kitchen, Sean is asking, "Look, mom, how much do you love Philip?" And they start kind of arguing a little bit.
They're bickering. Yeah. Oh my god. Sean just like straight up lies and like
Oh,
tries to tell his mom that Philip touched him as a child, and she just turns and looks at him and she's like, "Are you lying?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm lying. I made that up."
yeah, there's a pause where you're like, "Ugh." But I will
And he's like,
say it looked like his mother was going to believe him, but then he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry I made that up. Like I just wanted you to," because he tries listing all these reasons why Philip's not a great person and she just doesn't want to hear it, right?
mhm,
So we had to go more
yeah,
extreme with it. That's fucked up. But they
yeah.
get Philip and his mom to agree to come with them. So they go outside. We see that Ed has crashed Pete's car into a pole. And I'm convinced that is simply
I wanted
because he wants to drive the Jag.
I hate him. At that moment, I was like, "You're such an idiot." Like
No.
that you guys would have had two cars.
Yes.
Two fucking cars, dude. Are you stupid?
You could have had two cars. I was not crazy about Ed up to this point, but it's a little bit
Yeah.
further on where I was like, "Oh, I fucking hate Ed in this movie." Like he becomes for a moment irredeemable. We'll talk about it. Anyway,
Okay.
so
Okay.
some of the zombies attack. Sean and Ed are able to fight them off for the most part, but Philip does get bit again in the neck. And so now Ed is
Yikes.
driving the Jag with music blasting and he's flooring it, which of course Philip is pissed.
Yeah.
Philip also has the child locks on in his car. So Sean has to like climb out of the roof so he can go get Liz at one point.
Oh, and that's also that is a reference to Dazed and Confused. Matthew McConaughey says almost line for line, "Hey man, watch the leather."
Okay.
And that's a little nod to Dazed and Confused.
So Sean tells Ed, "Keep the car moving, okay? Like the zombies are going to come get you. Just keep driving. I'll get Liz." So Sean uses his cricket bat to knock out all these zombies on the way to the door. Of
Mhm.
course, Diane and David answer the intercom again. There's no answer from Sean on the other end though. We just see David and Diane and we hear moaning like zombies. We're like, "Okay, did he get got? What happened?" Suddenly, Sean appears at her window. He climbed up again. And he tells Liz he's come here to save her. David says, we were already safe. There were only 2 of them out there, but you just drew more attention to us by climbing up the window. Which maybe he's not wrong, but also what were you guys going to do up here? You know?
No, I know. And I honestly like that Diane gets on board with Sean's plan like pretty
Yeah.
quickly. David wants to stay in this apartment, which is just such a bad idea.
Yeah. Liz also
Yeah,
finds
like
it very ironic that Shaun now has a plan, which I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either. It's funny to be arguing like that during this, but
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, girl.
But then Liz
Yeah.
does begrudgingly agree to go with him. So David and Diane are going to go too. They now don't really have enough room in the car since they don't have 2 cars. Thanks, Ed. And
okay, wait. Shaun also tells them, he's like, just, grab something and bash them in the head if you get cornered, because that seems to work out.
yeah, just grab something, just bash these people in the head. Like, this is still new to them. So it's not like a normal concept to have to like kill what looks like people to you, you know? But none of them have a vehicle there. So they kind of have to go with him. They all have to cram in this car. And they ask him, what is the plan then? Of course, they're going to the fucking Winchester, just like they were before the apocalypse.
Going to the pub, baby. We're going to the pub. Exactly. And they all argue too. They all start like arguing about it.
Yeah.
And Shaun is like convinced. But then, oh my God, this scene is really sad. Like, I felt like the scene with Philip and his mom were both like really gut wrenching. But Philip like turns to Shaun and he's like, being a father is not easy. He's like, I met you when you were 12 and you were already kind of grown and your dad was already, gone.
Yeah.
And he said, I just wanted him to be strong. I just wanted you to be strong because you just lost your dad. And Shaun is like telling him, like, Philip, you don't need to explain this shit to me,
Yeah.
And Philip's like, no, I do. And he continues to tell him that he's always loved him and he knew he could always do something. He just needed motivation, someone to look up to. And he thought that he could be that to him. And could he please take care of his mom? I started crying.
It is a really touching moment.
And he says that he's a good boy. I was like, his inner child had to have been like so lit up.
Especially because,
you know what I mean?
Simon Pegg does such a phenomenal job here, looking like he is trying to fight back tears.
Oh, and oh my gosh,
when
we get to his mother dying. Oh, well, when I see people cry, I'm sorry. It irritates me. But that's my own issue, okay?
I almost started joking. It depends. But in this type of scenario, like it just hit me in the feels,
I was crying.
Yeah.
I was crying.
I also have to mention when they grab all the weapons and they're like fighting these zombies on the way to the car, they play some generic early 2000s wrestler entrance music. If you go back and listen to it, it could be any generic wrestler's entrance music in the early 2000s or like late 90s.
Wow. That's awesome. I love it.
So Shaun is asking Ed to pull over. And he keeps asking him. And Ed's like, what do you have to pull over for? Until Shaun has to scream at him to pull over. He loses it because Philip just dies after he says all this.
Yeah, and Ed is being Ed. Like that would, I would lose my shit.
This is like the scene. This one, no, it is this scene because more is going to happen. This is the scene where I was like, Ed would be dead to me. Because Ed is like, chill out, man. Like he's mad that Shaun is yelling at him. Like you can tell that he's offended that he just got scolded, right? Shaun is livid.
No self-awareness.
Yes.
No fucking self-awareness.
Shaun has to tell Shaun has to tell his mother that Philip is gone. And she's like, no, he isn't. And Shaun moves his head and we see that Philip is already a zombie. So they turn fast. And they cannot get out of the back seat because the child locks her on. This is the part. Ed is out of the car and he's not opening the door for them. They're banging on the door. They're screaming. And Ed is just standing there because his fucking feelings are hurt.
He is insufferable to me at this point.
I would have at least punched him square in the fucking face when I got out of that car. At least.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think I would have punched him. However, I would very I think, point out all of the fucked up things that he is and does that he is not yet aware of that everybody thinks about him.
No, for real.
Like that is my punch in the face.
Well,
Like
the reason
you know,
the reason I would punch him in the face is because he almost got them killed. Philip is trying to
yeah.
attack them in the back seat, and he's just sitting there pouting. No,
I
absolutely
would. I
not.
think I'd run him over. I would run him over. I'd be
You're
like,
like,
best
I
friend or
wouldn't
not,
punch him, but I would run him over.
I'd run him over, and I would also say some really mean things to him while I did.
You know what? That's smart because that way you don't accidentally break your hand in the process, right?
100%.
That's actually a
And
better
also,
idea. I like that better.
psychological warfare is just way more lethal than a fucking vehicle. Okay.
So they
Anyways,
do eventually get out of the car and they have to get going because there's so many fucking zombies. Philip's first move, you can see he's back in the car still as a zombie. His first move is to turn off the music. He just goes in the front seat, turns off Ed's music.
because they were yelling about turning the music down earlier, and Ed was just like being Ed, you know?
So they're walking through some back way behind these houses and they pass a group that has the exact opposite of each person in the group. It like they mirror each other.
Yes, and Yvonne is the
leader
of this little group. Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
like each person is like the opposite gender, I guess, of the group of our group, I guess we should say. The last person, oh, that's not true because Cousin Tom is the last one. Either way, they're just people that mirror our group. And Cousin Tom is the last one, which I noted because he's played by Matt Lucas, who he's in so many comedies, especially in the UK, but he was also Gil in Bridesmaids, which was Rebel Wilson's like weird half brother roommate. I haven't watched that movie in a long time, but I remember him with Rebel Wilson in that movie.
Yeah, he's funny in that. He's really funny. Mm-hmm.
So they get to a spot where they're going to have to jump all these privacy fences to get to the Winchester through this shortcut. And Sean, I think David says something to him like, oh, we're going to just we're going to scale all these privacy fences. And Sean's like, what's the matter, David? And he goes to jump one and it just falls, which is just a little,
he eats shit.
Yeah. Sean's mom stops and is wondering if her friends live here. Like, oh, I wonder if Jen and Derek live around here. She's just very aloof is another word to describe her. And
I just found out what that word means.
What?
I didn't know what that word means. Somebody said that word to me recently and I went, what does that mean? I've heard it so many times and I still don't know the meaning. They told me what it meant. Now I know.
Good for you.
Now I know what you mean.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Learning things.
And we hear a zombie in the background and we cut to the rest of the group. They're in the next yard now. And Sean realizes as he's talking to them that his mom is not there. So he jumps on this little trampoline, like a mini, like aerobics trampoline, and jumps over the fence to get his mom. Liz is calling for Sean because no one's coming back at this point. And suddenly he bursts through the fence because a zombie is like spearing him through it.
Yeah.
The girls end up handing him a pole and he's able to impale the zombie into a tree. And Ed and David.
Is this like an older man? Is this an older man zombie?
I would say, yeah, sure. Not like old, but like he's in a bathrobe.
Okay, because I'm only asking because I know I have a tidbit about somebody. I just don't know which one it is. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would say he's probably in his like 50s.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. I can't find it.
He came out of the house and he's in a robe and now he's impaled and stuck to a tree. And Ed and David are just standing there. That was another thing where I'm like, no. Sean is like, feel free to jump in anytime. And they're just, no, I'm good. You got it.
They just remind me of Miguel.
Oh my gosh, fucking Miguel.
Just another useless. Okay. Anyway, although I will say, Ed does grow on me. He does.
A little
by
bit.
the end.
He's annoying. I have complicated feelings about Ed, but we can dissect it because I don't know. I think I'd have to get through the notes and then I'll maybe feel differently. I don't know. So
yeah,
Sean climbs this tiny kid slide to look over the fence to see if the coach.
He literally he says it so dramatically. He's literally like, guys, let me just make sure the coast is clear. And it's like a little kid's slide. And he climbs up 3 steps and looks over a fence.
Just like,
and then when he climbs back down and he just like looks at all of them. And she's like, well, how many are there? Liz asks him and he's just like, a lot.
Yeah, there are stores.
There's a lot. Yeah.
David is pissed because he wanted to stay at the flat. Diane says, you're not going to get anywhere by moaning. And this gives Sean an idea.
Right. And they're also right next to the Winchester. So they've made it almost all the way there. If we were in a video game, they've made it almost all the way to the end.
Yeah.
but there's one fence in front of them that they have to get over, and that's where all the zombies are, and they're all chilling near the Winchester.
Right. So Diane starts leading a quick little acting class. Remember, she's an actress, potentially a failed actress from earlier, and she's using the zombie pinned to the tree as an example, and everyone has to try to mimic the zombie expression. So she goes one by one and has them all do an impression, and she's giving them notes.
I feel like this would be me.
I know I was going to say that.
No,
You're like, okay.
or it would be Frank. It would be
Oh,
Frank during a fucking, oh my God, this
Oh
would
my
be Frank,
God.
totally. He'd be like, stay slower, lower, grounded, everybody, and think you are a zombie. What would a zombie do? Like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
And then they all go out into the street pretending to be the zombies, and it's working. And I really love this concept that, okay, in some movies, the zombies seem to sense you, right? They can either smell you or
Smell
somehow,
you.
yeah. But in here, in this movie, they're going off of visuals and sounds, it looks like. So if you run or you scream or you speak, they'll attack. But if you just look like them, they're not going to know the difference. I like that.
There's also a guy zombie with a yellow bandana, and he's like kind of outside the pub. And he is a character named Tires from the show Spaced.
Okay.
So little cameo.
Yeah.
Little cameo. Mm-hmm.
So then they get to the Winchester. They're outside. They're trying to break in. Ed gets a fucking phone call on his flip phone, by the way, and he answers it. Ed, do you not understand the fucking program here? Clearly he doesn't, or he just doesn't give a shit. Sean knocks it out of his hands. They start fighting. Sean starts yelling at him, and then Liz is finally like, Sean? And he turns, and all the zombies are stopped and staring at them. Just paused. There's so many. They're like,
well, they're making
filled.
so much noise. Yeah, they're being too loud, man.
Way too loud. And then Philip panics. No, not Philip. Sorry, Pete. No, what the fuck is his name? David.
David?
Yes, I wrote Philip. I'm like, that's not Philip. David.
Philip's dead.
Yeah. Grabs the trash can, breaks the window, and Sean says, no, don't go in there. They're going to follow us. So Sean jumps up and starts yelling to distract the zombies so the rest of the crew can secretly get into that window because David just jumped the gun here. So Sean is like leading them away now.
Yeah, and the zombies are following him.
Yeah.
So they go into they're about to go into the pub, and Barbara finds the flowers that Sean had bought her earlier, and she grabs them.
Yeah, from the garbage
it's
can.
So sweet.
Well, they were dumped out of the garbage can.
Yeah, because they were dumped, and she grabs them. I thought that was so cute. So they go inside the pub. It's quiet. It's empty. It's a little eerie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they all sit in there waiting for Sean.
Right.
They haven't boarded up the windows yet. Yeah, they need to board the windows up, and David wants to. Okay, look, I'm going to give it to him. It's smart. You should be boarding the windows up. Yeah. However, we need to make sure that Sean can get back in.
Right.
So maybe let's not board the window up yet.
And there's
also no power.
David is Sean's number one hater, so he doesn't really care.
No, yeah. And David doesn't like Sean. Sean doesn't like David, like, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's trying to be the leader now. David is trying to be the leader, and it's like, sir, you're not capable of that. I'm so sorry. Let's give the leadership to, I think, like Liz or Diane, if we're coming down to the group there without Sean.
Yeah.
Because it's not David. I mean, we'll see very quickly that David is not the one.
Yeah, David is already trying to convince them Sean isn't even coming back, which is pretty fucked up. And Liz is getting pissed at him because the last thing you need in this fucking situation is a pessimist. Just someone that's like, well,
I know, and he's dragging Sean.
Yeah.
Like, he's just dragging him. It's like, okay, I get it. You're in love with Liz or him. I get it. Just
Or
we're
him.
in the middle of an apocalypse. I don't know. I couldn't tell at that point. I thought he liked him.
Or at least envies him. You know, he does envy him for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. But let me just say, okay. So he's like dragging Sean, blah, 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 blah. And he says, what is Sean gonna do? Stroll in and everything's okay? And Liz finally tells him off. Finally, right? They decide to all have a drink. Okay, which I get, right? At this point, why not? David is being a brat, and he's kind of throwing shit at them, and just, he's just being an asshole. When all of a sudden, our man Sean shows up. He's wearing his fucking tie as a bandana, which, I'm sorry, but he looks hot, dude. I
Okay,
was like, God
I
damn,
knew in my
Sean.
soul you were gonna say that because when he shows up and you can tell that Liz is looking at him a little bit differently, like, oh, a man who takes charge, like maybe he does know what he's doing. I was like, Laura's
Yes.
gonna love this.
That's what I'm saying. He comes in looking like a badass with his fucking tie. I'm like, hello, Sean. Where did you come from, sir?
Yes, he is
Top of
having
the
a
list, baby.
this is like a turning point for him in his character, for sure.
Oh, he is. He has been finding his backbone and his strength throughout the film, but here you really see he's like, nah, I ain't going down without a fight.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
So
into it. I am into it.
and then Liz is like, okay, what's the plan? She's been asking him what's the plan throughout this entire movie, right? But then we cut to them sitting in the booth drinking and eating peanuts, which isn't like, I mean, what are you going to do in there? They're kind of waiting it out, right? But it's
Yeah,
ironic that they're in the bar just like before, except now they're sitting in the dark
yeah,
and there's nowhere else to go.
and they're like kind of like hunkering down.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sean encourages Ed to do his impression of Clyde again, and then as he's having this conversation, the power comes on, but Sean is basically saying like, let's turn on the lights and watch TV and like see kind of like what's going on.
Yeah.
So he goes back to like the fuse box because they're like trying to, because like some lights are on, some lights are out, whatever. I don't know how fuses work. Okay, guys, I'm not going to pretend like I do. But he turns the lights on, right? And then he opens like a window and he looks and it's just zombies like right up against the back door.
Yeah.
Like just like a lot of zombies.
Mhm.
And it's so casual too. Like then he just pulls the drawer back down. He's like, okay, I don't want to see this.
Yeah. There's also,
and then
oh, go ahead.
no, go for it.
There's also a locked door, and now we see that the handle is moving. So there's also someone inside the pub. We don't know who it is.
Oh, this is because did Sean leave the door open or something like that? There was somehow the zombie got in through the back.
I thought that it was who we're about to see, the zombie that gets in, which is
the bartender.
The bartender.
The bartender.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
yeah,
might have
makes
already
sense.
been in there.
Yeah. I know you're totally right. I'm thinking about when they all bust through the back door for sure, because that's how they all get in, right? So Diane puts the TV on, but there are no stations. Everything's off, right? Liz gives Ed a quid so that he can play fucking pinball when they're all trying to be quiet.
They literally look at Ed, Liz, and Sean, and they try to stop him like, no, but it's too late. And now all the zombies are pounding on the doors and the windows. So they did follow Sean, unfortunately.
This is where my love-hate for Ed came in, because I was like,
oh, mine started a long time ago.
I would launch him right into the group. Like I would be like, he's the distraction. You can all eat him.
I would launch him right into the sun.
No, I know. I'm with you. So old guy pops out from behind the bar. Chaos ensues, right? There's, people are fighting. The zombies are fighting, blah, 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 blah. This guy's fighting with them. At one point, I want to say it's Diane that throws darts at the bartender's head, ends up hitting Sean in the head. This was a reference to the show The Office. And there's a scene in The Office where someone's throwing darts and then somebody says, don't throw that at my head.
Oh,
okay. So reference from The Office.
I'm sure.
The British Office. British Office. Yes. That one I had to look up because I never watched The British Office, so I wasn't sure. So then they're like, Sean's fighting with this bartender. Now he's got a dart sticking out of his head. But eventually the bartender gets thrown into the jukebox. The jukebox is playing Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome. And it's loud. And it's bomb. Okay. But the actor who gets thrown into the jukebox was the same actor in the film Brannigan from 1975, and he also goes through a jukebox. So it was like a little nod to that, scene for scene.
I love that that's his gimmick. He's like, yeah, I go through jukeboxes. This is my thing.
That's it. That's his fucking gimmick. Exactly.
Look,
and I believe, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if we had jukeboxes in matches, you know damn well people would make that their gimmick. Like, oh, I always go through a jukebox in every match.
As we were saying that, I'm like, I was thinking about going through table. I'm like, everybody, there's people that go through tables every match. But the song is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
They also mention, one of them says, kill the queen, talking about the song. But obviously that has a double meaning about the queen in England. And I wrote, LOL, British humor.
That's pretty great.
They all get pool cues and are beating the bartender zombie to the beat. Like they're all just like on rhythm, beating him. to the song.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome.
And one of them runs to flip the circuit breaker. I believe this is David, right? And he is trying to turn off the music, but it just makes it look like there's a zombie rave. Like the lights just keep going on and off, on and off. And then eventually
Yep.
the zombies start breaking through the glass. So Liz ends up hitting the bartender with a fire extinguisher, spraying him. Oh, this is where Diana's throwing darts at his head. And
Mm-hmm.
Ed tosses Sean the shotgun, not the shotgun. I don't know if it is a shotgun for sure, but it
Rifle.
is a rifle.
It's a rifle. Yeah.
From above the bar. He ends up hitting the zombie with like the base of it, which sends
Mm-hmm.
that's when he goes to the jukebox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solving two problems, the zombie and the music. And Ed
Yep.
asks, "Why didn't you just shoot him?" And Sean says, "I told you." Like telling him like it's a prop, like he's about to say it doesn't fire, and then he accidentally fires it. And Ed is like, "I knew it."
Yes. And then we find out nobody has really good experience with guns. Nobody really knows how to use the gun,
Yes. They only
right?
have a certain number of shells, not bullets, because one of them does say bullets and the other one's like, no, it's shells. Barbara is still oblivious. She's off in like La La
Yes.
Land, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She's telling Liz, Sean is always talking about you. It's really lovely to meet you finally, just very like casually. I know it's gonna get real
And
sad.
remember that was a thing. That was a thing that Liz never met his mom, which
Right.
is weird. They've been dating for a while, right? That's a bit weird.
Yeah. And then she gives Liz her necklace. She does not seem well. And then Liz notices she was bitten on the wrist really bad. And then the zombies bust through the
Yeah.
window. Sean goes to shoot them. The gun doesn't fire. Ed has to tell him to cock it. Like they're tag teaming to try to figure out this gun because they're not familiar.
Yeah, that they decide that they're gonna like do it as a team.
Yeah.
And the bite mark on mom's arm, on Barbara's arm, it's very similar to the monkey bite in Dead Alive.
Dead Alive.
Do you notice it almost looks the same, that bite
Yes,
mark.
which we know from when we covered Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead, that Simon Pegg was a huge fan of that movie.
Exactly. So it makes sense that they'd have a little nod, right?
Yeah. And I do
Yeah.
love that Sean has terrible aim with this gun because he doesn't know how to use it. Of course, he's not
Yeah.
shooting them in the head perfectly the first time, right?
Oh, I'd be fucked. I don't know how to shoot a gun. Oh my God.
Ed has to remind him to reload the gun because eventually he runs out of ammo.
Dude, I wouldn't know what to do. I don't know how to shoot a gun. We would be that's one thing that I think I need to learn how to do just for a zombie apocalypse. Because I don't know how to do that.
Because of, I shouldn't even say this because I'm sure so many people say this and they're so wrong. But shotguns to me, or rifles, I don't even know if this is a shotgun, and I'm trying to say I know how to shoot this. I don't. I've never shot one.
I don't know.
However, rifles or guns that look like shotguns, when you like break it, it looks like you break it in half, put the shells in, put it back. You have to cock it, right?
Yeah.
Do the trigger thing.
Yeah.
I actually don't know any of the fucking lingo. Because
I
of
don't
like
know.
movies and cartoons, it makes it look like, okay, you can figure it out, right? But I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it's probably
I don't
more
know.
complicated.
Bro, I don't think I could do it.
I don't know.
Okay.
If it was if it was a random gun that I've never seen before, I don't know, or like a more modern, I don't know. Then I would be like, fuck, I don't know where the bullets go. I don't know shit. The shotgun looks like it would be easier to figure out on the fly, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. I have no idea. But you're right. The zombies break through the window and Sean lets out a great line. Sorry, we're closed. But he doesn't cock the gun. So when he goes to shoot, it doesn't go off.
Yeah.
But then it does. And he starts shooting the zombies.
Yeah.
And it looks like a video game. Sean is badass. He looks badass in this.
Maybe that's why I think I could figure it out. Did you have like the gun attachment for regular Nintendo where you'd play duck hunting and you would shoot it?
Duck Hunt.
I'm like,
dude, I just pulled Duck Hunt out. I just pulled it out.
How
I literally
weird.
today.
What?
Today I pulled out Duck Hunt.
I want to play that.
Literally
so
today.
Bad. Can we play next time I come over?
I don't have a normal Nintendo. I just have games.
No, you just have the. Okay.
I have games. I do have Super Nintendo though.
But I'm
so we
like,
can play
okay,
that.
Super Nintendo,
and
hell
N64.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have I've got all the heavy hitters on N64 as well. Like I've got GoldenEye, I've got them all, and all the Super Nintendo games.
Do you have No Mercy?
Yes, I have every single WWF game. WWF 2000. I've got the WCW games. Yeah.
Hell yeah, we're playing next time. But because I played Duck Hunt, I'm sure I could figure it out. Anyway, he does end up hitting a couple of the zombies. in the head. So it works out some of the time. And then
Mhm.
Sean goes over to his mom and realizes what's happening with her. Then Ed goes over to help. You know, he passes the gun to Diane. Diane goes over to help. She passes the gun to David. And now David is left with the gun to take care of the zombies on his own. Barbara thanks Sean for the flowers, and then she starts seizing. Like they're having this really touching moment. It's so sad.
Dude,
Movies like this, you don't expect to have touching moments, and there's two, at least two. There's actually more
dude,
than two, but right now just two.
it's 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 so heartbreaking. Again, my eyes welled up for this. I guess it was like a really hard thing to shoot. Like everybody was really emotional.
Emotionally, yeah.
Simon Pegg was like really it was hard. And
Taxing.
even Ed, they were all it was emotionally taxing because that is hard, man. Like
Mhm.
again, the writing's so good because you don't expect something like this, but it brings you back to reality that they're in even though it's funny, they're in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
People are dying, like they're losing loved ones. I don't know. I thought it was just done so well.
for sure. And isn't there a rule
Mhm.
in movies or maybe just writing in general where you have to make people laugh before you make them cry?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
We're having a great time. We're laughing. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. It's so clever. And then they hit you with the feels.
Let's
So
all cry.
David, after Barbara dies, by the way, she dies. David cocks the gun and points it at
Dude.
Barbara. Of course,
Yo.
everyone's upset. But David, this is the only time I'm like, okay, David, you're not wrong.
He's not, but yo, the way he goes about it,
Yeah.
you're done, David. You're
Yeah.
done, bro.
Not
Have a
thinking about,
little like think of just have a tiny bit of compassion. Just a
yeah,
little bit.
like think about it in the back of your head. Get ready for it, but maybe don't just
Right.
immediately be like about to shoot her in the head. You know what I mean?
It's called tact. Try it,
Have some
you fuck.
fucking decorum, David.
Like seriously, David, what the fuck? What's wrong with you?
So they're all upset. Sean and Ed end up breaking a bottle, putting it at David's neck. Diane says, well, this isn't fair. And then Ed hands her his broken bottle and goes and grabs a corkscrew instead. So Diane can hold
Yes.
the glass to Sean's neck because she's going to stick up for her
Yes.
man, right?
And Sean yells, "Don't point that gun at my mom." And then Ed yells, "Don't point that gun at Barbara." And it's a reference to Eddie from Reservoir Dogs. He says, "Stop pointing that fucking gun at my dad." So it's
Oh,
like a little reference to that.
yeah.
A little nod to that.
I
Mhm.
love
Yeah.
that. I love that they jam packed this with references and nods to other horror movies and zombie movies.
Yeah, totally. But I loved it. When Sean looks at him and says, "Don't point that fucking gun at my mom," or whatever he says, dude, you could like feel it. It felt visceral. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Because it is that feeling of like, even though this is a zombie now, that's your mom.
And you still
like,
want to protect her.
I would protect you. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's, oh God, it was just so good. Anyway, it was really, really good.
So Sean once again accuses David of hating him and being in love with Liz. And this time Diane agrees. And she says, I know.
Thank you.
Yes.
I knew it. I knew it was one of them. I knew
Yes.
he wanted to, you know.
She says she knew that David was only hanging out with her to get close to Liz after Liz refused him. And David is trying to tell Sean, you know,
Ew.
she's not your mom
Ew.
anymore.
Hold on a second. Hold the fucking phone. Diane.
I know.
Girl.
Yeah.
Girl.
Diane, you
He's
gotta
not even
want better for yourself.
like, what has he got that you, because like, girl, don't stay with somebody that is into somebody else. Like, just
No.
cut your losses. Take the L and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Woo!
For real.
Yikes. Okay.
So he's trying to explain to Sean that this isn't your mom anymore. And once again, I don't like him, but he is not wrong. However, Liz does get everyone to calm the fuck down. She's sick of the arguing. She does empathize with Sean. She does it the right way. She empathizes with him. She understands this has to be the hardest thing he's ever had to do. But she does
That's
tell
how you
him,
do
I know
it.
you don't want to hear this, but.
Yep.
And then his mom rises up from the dead and she is a
Dude.
zombie. And here, David hands Sean the shotgun and says, you do it. Which I don't know how I would feel. Like, wouldn't you want someone else to do that part for you? I don't know that I could do that. I mean, I think I could, honestly, but I don't know that I would want to do that.
If it was someone I really, really love, I would be so distraught. They'd probably have to lock me in a room.
Wouldn't you be like, don't want to hear it, don't want to see it, and then someone else would have to handle it?
Yeah, I can't imagine what I would be like,
Yeah.
honestly. I
But
don't
he
know.
does. Sean takes charge and he does shoot his mom.
Mhm.
His zombie
It's
mom.
really sad, dude. It's really, really fucking
Yeah.
sad. Like, and the group all like kind of looks down at them. And David casually says, I think we can all agree we did the right thing.
And Sean turns and punches him in the fucking face like I wanted to do to Ed earlier.
Finally. Finally. But then, because David is a little pussy, pulls the gun on Sean. Why don't you just punch him back?
Not only
Like, why
pulls
do
the
you gotta
gun
bring a gun to a punching fight?
to a punching fight. Not only pulls the gun out on Sean, he pulls the fucking trigger and it doesn't fire.
That's
Awkward.
insane.
So they
That's
know
like
he
Bub.
was willing to kill him.
Oh yeah. And then David, because he's such a, oh my God, he's so annoying. He backs up to the doors and he wants to leave. He wants to get out of there. Like he wants to,
Oh, because he knows he fucked up.
because he knows he fucked up.
Yeah.
But he's also a pussy.
He
Like
is.
he's all like, you know, okay,
Yeah.
maybe now's the time you get a little self-awareness.
Yeah. I love how when David pulls the trigger, Diane says, David, like he's a toddler that just made a mess.
Oh,
David.
it's brutal.
So David and Diane start arguing, and eventually zombies bust through the window, pull David out, ripping
We
David
knew that was
apart.
going to happen, right? We knew that was going to happen.
Because he kept inching
Like, he was-
closer and closer.
Yeah, I was like, okay, these zombies are going to grab you soon. And they do. And this, like, pull apart
It's very
reminded me
much-
so much of Day.
Yes.
So much of Day.
We just
Yes,
covered Day of the
yeah.
Dead. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, it was last week's episode, right? And it
Yep,
is
last week.
very much like those zombie pull aparts in the end of that movie.
100%.
Now it is fucking on. Diane starts hitting the zombies with one of David's limbs, I think his leg, because she was trying to pull him back in the window.
They both were. Wasn't it her and Sean?
I think so.
They were
yeah.
trying to pull him back in, and then they both fall backwards and they both have his leg
Yeah.
in their hand. And Diane, this is like, why is it? Why is it that, of course, this guy isn't even loyal to her, and she is so loyal to him that she runs into the zombies to try to rescue her man who is missing both his legs and half his organs.
Oh my
What a ride or die. Like,
literally ride or die.
girl, don't do it, because he would not do that for you.
Oh,
Period.
for sure. He would not. Absolutely not. He would be
Mm-mm.
crying in a corner. And so all the zombies are coming in now. Pete is
Yeah.
one of the zombies, naked Pete, and Ed gets him in a headlock. Another zombie comes up behind Ed and bites his neck, and then Pete bites his arm. I was shocked. I did not expect, the first time I watched this, I did not expect Ed to get bitten.
No, I didn't either. I was shocked. Yeah, I was so shocked. Yeah.
Sean
Actually, my notes I wrote, in my notes says, holy shit, no. Oh my God.
Sean ends up shooting Pete in the head. So Pete's done.
Mhm.
He and Liz jump over the bar. He calls for Ed, who does eventually jump over with them, even though he's fucked up. They end up lighting the bar, the literal countertop on the bar, on fire with alcohol to keep the zombies back.
Mhm.
They end up
Mhm.
finding a hatch that takes them to the basement. Sean starts crying. He feels like this is all his fault, that he's useless. And Liz is telling him that he tried, and that's what counts. Like, this is all that she wanted in their relationship. She just wanted him to make an effort.
Yeah, that's what we all fucking want. It's not that complicated. My God. Also, important to note, they are in the basement, but there is an exit. Like, there's cellar doors,
Yes.
but they can't get out.
Right.
So they're now they've trapped themselves in this basement, and it's down to the three of them: Liz, Sean, and now Ed, who's been bit.
Right.
A little bit scary, and they do have the gun. They
Mhm.
still have the gun. They got the rifle.
Yeah. And then a very dark part of the movie, they start deciding how they're going to take each other out before the zombies get them. So they're like,
And
do
somehow
me,
they do
myself?
it in a very they do it in a very comical way,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, it's real dark.
Yeah.
They're trying to decide who goes first, and Sean's like she's like, well, maybe you shoot me and then shoot yourself, and like they're trying to decide like who goes first. And
Yeah.
it's like,
And then Sean is like, I don't think I can kill my mom, my best friend, and my girlfriend all in the same day.
fair
And I
point.
love here, she's like, who says I'm taking you back? Like, even in this moment, she has a little bit, she still has her sense
She's
of
got
humor.
Listen, Yeah, she's gotta, she's still gotta give him a little dig. Come
Yeah,
on.
what else are you gonna do if you feel like you're about to die? You might as well. Now, she kept
Yeah.
his cigarettes in her pocket when he threw them away in her apartment earlier, so she's like, "Alright,
Mhm.
let's have one now. Fuck it, we're gonna die anyway, right?" And then
Yeah.
they notice some buttons when they light the lighter, and they realize they're gonna open the cellar doors. Shaun is trying to get Ed to come up with them, but Ed doesn't wanna
Mhm.
go.
Yeah,
And
because he's like, he's bit and he's, bleeding and he's gonna turn into a fucking zombie.
yeah, and he apologizes to Shaun, and it's touching. It's a very touching moment, and then once again, he's just apologizing because he farted.
He farted.
It is still a touching moment, and he still says the line of, "I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing."
Yeah, I don't know. I love their relationship, even though he's so annoying. I do love them. I love
I
them.
love their relationship. I do like their dynamic. I will say
Mhm.
watching this back now, I feel like Ed didn't do too much to redeem himself really, except here he is sort of sacrificing himself, I guess, to distract, I think.
Yeah. He
So
is.
while
Yeah,
they
he
can
absolutely
escape
is.
and then the zombies will
And
be
he
focused on
doesn't
him.
and he doesn't want to slow them down either, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
And he does give Ed a cigarette. The zombies start to break into the basement, and Shaun and Liz
Mhm.
take that little lift up to the outside, and Ed stays behind. It's really sad.
Yes, it is. It's really freaking sad. And Sean tells him that he loves him.
Yeah.
And then they leave. And when they go outside, there's like zombies kind of everywhere. Like they're surrounded. And then all of a sudden, the army shows up and they have like machine guns and they just start taking out all the zombies.
The way
Like
they
just
start spraying down those zombies, I was like, "How are Shaun and Liz not getting shot?"
I literally said the same thing. I went, "Oh my god, if this was real life, I'd be so afraid that
Like,
like,
"Drop
you know what I
down.
mean?" Yeah,
Hit the
drop
deck."
down, something, anything. Yeah, dude, crazy. And then we run into our old friend Yvonne, who has survived, and she looks at them and she's like, like, "Where's the rest of the group?" And they're kind of like, "Oh yeah, they're all dead." And I don't know. I was like, I think Yvonne might be a badass. Like, she doesn't
Oh,
look like she has scratches on her.
yeah.
Like, she looks like this woman knows how to survive the apocalypse and still look good. Like, I was like, God damn,
And
Yvonne.
she's very much like the same banter as before, like, "Oh, Shaun, like, running into you again. How are you? Like,
Yeah,
wanna come over?"
I would like to have her as a friend, to be
Oh, yeah.
honest. Like, she seems like a great friend. Yeah.
So Shaun and Liz start walking to the tanks, and they start holding hands, and then it goes black for a moment. And then we see some TV shows, and it says, "Next, we see Zombies from Hell, remembering D-Day." So it's all these shows of it's now in the future. The zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse has happened, and there are TV shows about it and reality shows. Um,
Yeah.
they're about to say what caused it in one of them, and then he changes the channel. I was actually pissed. I'm like, "Wait, no, I want confirmation."
I know, isn't that great? And then we see like zombies are now working in the service industry.
There's like a
We see
reality
game
show
shows.
or like
Yeah, there's like game
a
shows.
game show.
One lady's staying married to her zombie husband. Like, I
Oh,
got another ride or die.
so there's a
Another ride or
daytime
die.
talk show called Trisha where a woman is married to the zombie. That was a real show in the UK in the late 90s, early 2000s, and that was actually Trisha playing herself.
I love that. It reminded me of like Ricky Lake.
Exactly, Ricky Lake. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
Ricky Lake.
Maury, but I feel like Maury was a little more like, I don't know, it felt more Ricky Lake for sure.
Ricky Lake, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Did Canada have daytime shows like that?
Yeah, we had one, and I can't off the top of my I can't remember the name of it, but it was a Ricky Lake type show that was shot in Toronto, and I remember my sister got to like sit in the audience, and I was so jealous because I was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, we definitely had that.
That would be so fun. I know wrestlers who have been on Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer, yeah, that
Yeah.
was a big one. Yeah, yeah,
So then we see Shaun yawning and waking up, looking like he did earlier in the movie, where he kind of mimics the zombie with the stumbling, and
big yawn.
he's now in
Yeah,
his flat with Liz. We do
their
see
house is
some,
cute.
yeah, yeah, it is really cute,
Cute.
and it's clean,
Yeah,
and you can tell it
thankfully.
has a woman's touch for sure.
That's what I was thinking too. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh yeah, she lives with him now."
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
They do mention here that it might have been caused by monkeys, but they say so many different things throughout the movie of what it might have been caused by. And I think the monkeys, there's another movie that's referenced, and I have the note right here. So some people said that could have been a reference to 28 Days Later. It could have been.
Mhm,
I personally
mhm.
think it was Dead Alive, just because,
I think it was Dead Alive.
yeah,
Me too. Me too.
because we
Yeah,
know
I think
how
so. I
Simon
think so.
Pegg felt about Dead Alive.
Exactly. Yeah. And they do, like you're saying, like they nod to so many zombie movies because none of them, because they all have different, the outbreak is different in all of them. So I think it's
Right.
clever that they kind of let us sort of
Yeah.
decide what it is,
Between
you
the
know?
radio, the news, the newspapers throughout the movie, one of them says it might be a crashed space probe, which is a nod to Night
Yes.
of the Living Dead.
Yes. Exactly.
The
Yeah.
other one about the infected crops could have been
Yes.
1974's The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. That was another one that it
Yes.
could have been.
Oh, okay. Right. I wasn't sure if that was one with the pesticides or not. Cause there was, what did didn't
There
I
was
say
a
there was one
different one you
earlier?
mentioned with pesticides, which might have been the infected crops. I haven't seen either of those, so I'm not sure off the top
Oh,
of my head.
Let Sleeping Corpses Lie
Yeah.
from 1974.
Yeah. Both from 1974.
Wild.
So they start talking over their plans for the day. This was a huge theme in the movie. And now they actually are making plans and sticking to them, I hope.
Mhm.
And Sean says, I'm going to pop into the garden for a bit. And then he goes into the shed. And it looks like a zombie is about to bite him. It's fucking Ed. I
It's
popped for this. I was like,
Ed.
okay. I really thought Ed was just gone. This got me.
This
It's
got me
yeah.
good. They're playing video games together. It's
Ed is
awesome.
chained up in the shed. And it's just like what Pete said earlier of if you want to live like an animal, you can go live in the shed.
Yes, and now Ed is in the shed playing video games, and my "You're My Best Friend" by Queen starts playing.
Yeah. And
I
then
love
that's it.
it.
That's Shaun of the Dead.
That's it,
I'm
man.
guessing Liz does not know he's out there. However, maybe that was their arrangement. She's like, okay, you can keep him, but he has to be in the shed.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. Liz is cool. Listen, I don't think Liz was asking for anything out of the ordinary, anything extraordinary. She just
She
wanted her man to like be her
she
man.
literally wanted her man to plan a date and to go to a restaurant. Like that was it. Just go to a restaurant. That
Like,
she was
come
asking for the
on.
bare minimum for real.
Like literally, well, AK, we've talked about this. The bar's in fucking hell. Let's be real here. But I love Shaun of the Dead. I'm so glad we finally covered it because it's so fun. I have some tidbits, but most of them I've said in the episode. I'm gonna save a couple of them for extended, but
Yeah.
I've said a lot of them already.
Perfect. I have a couple things I do want to
Yeah.
mention.
Okay, let's hear
One
it.
of them is that so while I was taking my notes, I'm like, wait, what happened to Diane? Like, how did she die? So she runs out
Yeah.
into the zombies, right? Now,
Yeah.
she's presumed dead. However, on the DVD bonus features, they reveal that Diane survived. Aren't you so excited?
What?
So it says that she used David's leg to fight her way through the horde, climbed up a tree, uh, woke up later, found out that the Winchester had burned down, survived by eating David's leg. And then later, when the zombies were gone, she climbed down and went to live with her aunt in Birmingham. And
Holy
it also
shit.
added that she still sends cards to Sean and Liz. That made me so
This
happy.
is the biggest, dude, this is the biggest plot twist of this whole movie. I had no idea she survived.
Same.
Thank God.
And I
Thank
mean,
God. Because I like Diane.
they definitely leave
I
it.
like Diane.
They leave it. They don't confirm. They don't show her get killed, but it's presumed she ran to the zombie. She's gonna die. But when I found that out, it made me so
God.
happy.
I'm so happy now. She doesn't have this. Oh, she doesn't have this fucking wanker. Let's call him a wanker.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it's
she
British,
got out
right?
of that scot free. She's like, oh darn, guess I'm single
See
again.
ya. I guess I'll use your leg as a weapon now. Thanks,
Oh my
babe.
gosh. Also, I randomly noticed because now ever since we started doing this podcast, I've started watching the credits on all the movies usually.
Uh-huh.
And I try to
Yeah.
watch to the end just in case there's anything extra. But also, I don't know, I just sit there and read them sometimes. Not everything, but I just happened to
Yeah.
glance over and notice that there was a construction supervisor on the set named Eddie Murphy.
That's so random.
I just thought that was funny. I was like, Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Oh, construction supervisor. Okay, I don't think that's the same Eddie Murphy.
Probably not, but that's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, I love this movie. I love
I
how
do
clever it
too.
is, and I love that they reward you for paying attention and they reward you for watching it multiple times. That is my favorite because I don't feel like it's done a lot anymore.
It's not, dude. It's not.
Yeah.
Like this is a special movie. It really is. I love it. It's so funny. It holds up. I mean, obviously some of the comedy, it's crass and shit, and it's very of the times. It's of 2004. Like let's be real.
Oh,
By the way, that was the year I started wrestling. I started wrestling on the day after my 18th birthday, September 4th, 2004.
I wish there are times that I wish I would have started like fresh out of high school or even still in high school. I didn't know that was an option. But
I
then
I wouldn't
I
suggest
was
it.
just gonna say I'm also really glad that I didn't though, because who knows whose wing I
Yeah.
would have went under, and who knows like how I could have been corrupted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can continue that into the extended
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Which we're about to get into, and also on the why did I just have a New York accent? Also,
Also,
uh,
also.
we are going to unbox some things. Is that what we're doing on the extended or a bonus?
Oh, I thought we were gonna make a whole bonus
Oh,
episode
we're
out
gonna
of
do a
that.
bonus episode, everyone. If you're on Patreon, somebody gave this to me. One of our favorite couples came to Jaka's memorial show this past weekend in Orlando and gave me this tiny Terrors from Full Moon.
Oh my god, it's so
It's a
cute.
blind box series one. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm showing it. It's just the box. I didn't open it yet. So we're going to do a bonus episode where we open this and another thing that Laura has. So if you're on the
Yes, I was
Patreon,
given a gift.
look out
Yeah,
for
I was
that.
given a gift for Yeah, we're gonna open that up. I'm excited.
And if you're not already, please follow us on socials at Chainsaw Girls Pod, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you're not already watching on YouTube, we have a Gmail, chainsawgirlspod@gmail.com. I probably should have
Mhm.
said, let us know what you thought about this movie and the episode in comments somewhere, but do that too. And we also have a Patreon, which we just
Hell yeah.
mentioned. And every episode, we read our top tier patrons.
Heck yeah.
We have Rob V, Millie C, Jonathan W, John M, the other John M. You can decide which one's which. Jeremy M, Jason M, James C, Heather D, Franchise Driller, Devin C, David T, David G, Chris S, Brian C, Alexis T, Adrian G, and Adam VL. Thank you so much. We love you.
We appreciate you guys to the moon and back.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
bye.